Instagram filter is, we can set it to that as well.
Yeah, we need that.
He likes the one with the
nice
glitter
glow.
and the butterflies or whatever that one is. Like the
that
long
makes me
lashes.
good. I got a butterfly on the end
Is
of my
that
nose.
one?
Yeah.
On the end of your nose? Like a little bear, with a honey pot and a little butterfly. on its
Yeah, I need all
nose.
the help I can get.
All right, we rolling? We're rolling. So we're back again. We got a Big Hunt Guys podcast. I don't know what episode this is. Probably pushing 70, I think, at this point.
Amazing.
Which is amazing that we've been able to keep this thing running once a week for over a year. Have you thought about that?
I have. It actually is really impressive for us.
For us, yeah. I mean, it's all in context, right? But yeah, we're back. We brought a bunch of visual aids today, obviously.
Yes. This is show and tell.
Show and tell. I think at some point, I think it might have been on YouTube or it might have been in my DMs on Instagram. Somebody accused me of not having a real shed hunter on the podcast.
Well, that was on YouTube.
Keep looking. YouTube? Yeah, keep looking.
You got the wrong guys.
They said you can't really talk about shed hunting because nobody on the podcast is an actual shed hunter. So we decided to go out and find a couple of actual shed hunters. Do you guys do you consider yourself a shed hunter?
I would say so.
You're a shed hunter?
Absolutely.
You guys are both from Utah, so
Yeah.
technically I think that makes you a shed hunter.
Love to shed hunt. I wouldn't say I'm professional by any means.
If you're from Utah, you're a shed hunter.
Yes.
Both of your brims are a little too bent.
Way too bent. And your ears aren't tucked in either.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah, regardless, we got a couple guys. You guys both work for GOHUNT. We got, we've lovingly called you Bransen B. Jackson. Where does B. Jackin? Is that just a nickname you've had forever?
Yeah, it's just a nickname that's stuck, and I like it, so I refer to myself as it.
Is that your Instagram handle?
No,
It's his internal Slack handle, like to the business is B.
It's
Jackson.
the best when a reporter asks me at B. Jackin. I'm like, oh, this is, yeah.
HR's never called that?
Nope, Scotty's never called me up on that. He calls me it too, so.
He
it's
does?
perfect. Oh, yeah, yeah.
We got a good HR department.
Yeah, we love them.
We've got an
Shout
open
out
culture,
Scotty.
Yeah.
Pretty open.
Yeah.
I
Love
agree. Yeah. And we got Braden, Bone Zone.
Bone Zone Jennings.
The Bone Zone Jennings.
I love that nickname you gave him. That's
pretty good,
great.
huh?
When did you get B. Jackin? Was that high school, college, or is that
College.
us?
It's gotta be college. Yeah.
Your jersey in high school didn't say B. Jackin on the back?
I missed out on a good nickname in high school. I never
You
had one
definitely
stick until college. I'm like, that's it. That's me. I ain't B. Jackin.
That's me.
We always.
Always B. Jackin.
Always.
Yes, we brought you guys in. You guys work for GOHUNT. Maybe give us a quick introduction as to who you are and what you do here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Customer service, if you call and talk about boots, gear, probably going to talk to me. Love it. I've worked on and off GOHUNT for years, full-time for the last couple of years, doing gear stuff, research stuff. Loved it. Great group of guys. More than that, a lot of hunting. Me and Lorenzo, me and Porter, and Trell been on a couple of hunts.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely friends before coworkers. So that was a good time.
Yeah, we tried to talk you into working for us for a long time.
Years.
And you kept saying no because you didn't want to stop hunting.
It's hard. Yeah, to not be able to hunt as much as I possibly want. It was a hard adjustment, but it's been good. I've enjoyed it for sure.
How long you been
Grow-up
with
time,
us?
Yeah. What's that?
How long you been here? You were seasonal, part time. Is that what you call it while you're going to school?
Intern since 16, 17, right around there. And yeah, I was doing narratives, product descriptions, all throughout that, and then full time since 19, right around there, 19, 20.
B. Jackin's about to get married. Did you know that?
I did know that.
2 weeks.
Coming up.
Good for you.
The whole
Ball
way
and chain,
down.
here it comes.
The whole way down today, we're driving down. He's on the phone making wedding plans. He was like the wedding planner over there.
Gotta love that.
He was,
I love it.
he was wanting to make sure his corsage is just right. The flowers were perfect.
Yeah. You know what's sweet? Speaking of shed antlers, my buddy makes.
Were we talking about
well, we're supposed to.
Okay, go ahead.
He makes. Have you heard of mini muleys?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
He made a shed horn for me that we're putting flowers in.
Oh,
And
there you
that's
go.
all the guys are getting that. So that's pretty sweet.
On your lapel.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Dang right.
Very nice. Where you're getting married in Cedar?
Cedar, yep. Having 2 receptions, can't wait. Pumped.
Why 2 receptions?
Just one in Monroe, one in Kanab. The families. She had to do, she had to do the whole Monroe thing, and my family wanted the Kanab thing. It's
Good old Kanab.
I love getting married. This is great.
Getting married.
Yep.
You nervous?
Not nervous. I'm just excited, ready for it to be done. The initial planning so I can stop fighting with my future wife. Can I say that? Can we edit
Is she
that
gonna be
out?
watching this?
Yeah, hopefully not. I'm gonna say, yeah, I didn't get recorded today.
I see you on Instagram. You're always putting her out there.
I try. She's smoking hot.
Does she?
I am lucky. She's so far out of my league.
Does she push you on that? She like, hey, I haven't seen a post about me.
No,
No,
absolutely not.
not her,
She
huh?
doesn't. She hates to post. She hates when I schmooze her over. Hates when I compliment her in public.
You're just trying to show what you want.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She goes trout hunting with you? She like the outdoors?
A little bit. We're trying to teach her the ropes. She's new, but she hasn't yet found anything awesome yet. And I know when she does, she's gonna lose it.
When you go out together, does she keep right by you, or do you like
Right behind me.
really?
Right, just like a little
You
puppy.
haven't been able to like push her off.
No,
like,
I try.
Like, hey, if you drop down this hill 50
100%.
yards,
I'm like, just
we'll
go
double our
on the
effort.
other side of that tree and parallel. No
No
I'll
way.
stick right behind you. She's got sunflower seeds, treats, water. As long as we keep her happy, she'll hike right with me. Like hell of a hiker. Like I love it. But yeah, not yet to get her to expand her horizons quite yet.
Gotcha. So you grew up where?
Kanab, Utah.
Kanab.
Oh, glorious place.
It's changed a lot.
It has. It's gone downhill. Thank you, tourist, for that. But it's still.
It's kind of like Little Moab now.
It
ain't
is, exactly. And the people in charge of Kanab are trying to make it go towards Moab. Not a fan of it. But I've been lucky enough to grow up on the Ponce and pick up some bone.
Pick up some
And so I've
antlers.
been pretty lucky in that matter to grow up in one of the best units in the country, really.
Yeah. Gotcha. How about you, Braden?
Well, I'm Braden Jennings. If you call in, I'm most likely the one answering the phone.
Are you the first contact?
It's usually me or Taylor, but usually I'm the one answering the phone.
Gotcha.
So that's always a fun side of things, being able to talk to you guys every day. I'm over the CS side of maps, so if you guys have mapping issues, usually I'm the one that you talk to. Also with anything shipping or anything like that, I'm usually the one helping. So it's been awesome. I've been here about 8 months, and we're neighbors, and he introduced me, and I met Brandon, and the rest was history.
You guys are next door neighbors?
Right next door.
You guys go out together?
We
Or do
haven't.
you keep it separate?
You
You lie to each other a
He's
lot
too cool.
now?
He's too cool to go with me.
No,
so.
it's not even that. It's just
He is pretty cool.
He
No,
is.
no.
He is.
I get to come home and see the horns that he finds, and like they crush it. They went out for a week last week, and I just was so jealous. And so I get to see.
You're
that.
over there just about to get married.
Yeah, exactly.
You're planning wedding luncheons.
He might say I'm too cool,
Bones
but
on
I'm
Jennings
like,
is over there just plucking them.
in the bone zone.
The bone zone.
Bone zone, baby.
So you've been here about 8 months, you say?
Yeah,
Where'd you
about
grow
8
up?
months.
Utah as well?
Yeah, Nephi, Utah.
Okay. Very good. One thing I noticed right here is I'm the only one at the table wearing a jacket. And that's because
And we're in Vegas.
I
Vegas,
know.
baby.
I think
Toasty.
it's,
It's May 9th.
I think
in
it's
Vegas.
because the three of you guys all look like you just got a pump on.
No.
I just try to keep
talk-
up with Lorenzo.
We were talking
No.
earlier about creatine. And then I just looked around and I was
74
like,
degrees.
apparently this is the gun show.
That's I sit back here like this.
Just like
Try to
this.
keep out of.
Welcome to the gun show. Man, Lorenzo's looking good.
Yeah,
by the way.
that's why we put Braden up here closer so that
Yeah.
he looked bigger
right.
than
I'm just gonna
from
hide
the-
back here.
You guys don't get to, do you guys lift weights together?
I'm not cool enough to be invited. I've tried to get him to come with me, but nothing. I even tried to get
We
him
go
to
to
come play.
different gyms.
Okay, yeah. There's
Yeah.
an excuse.
How many gyms are there in Cedar?
Oh,
How
there's
do you
a
guys?
bunch.
There's
Yeah,
like
a
2 or
couple.
3, maybe.
Yeah.
You guys are next door neighbors, but you go to different gyms, and
Yeah.
this makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, you know, he uses excuses. My color schemes are off.
It looks like McDonald's in there.
And it's fair.
It does.
It's red and yellow. You know, that's the color scheme. It's not. It's
can't do
not
that.
lovely, and I understand that. But I get it. I get whatever equipment I want. I get. He's fighting for it.
Yeah, I am.
There's too many
But-
people that go to his gym.
I get in free, so my wife's a personal trainer at Vasa. So shout out to
Ange.
Vasa.
Yeah.
And Ange, yeah. So I get in free. So I just
Really?
go there every morning, and yeah, it's nice. It's not too bad. A lot of old people.
Bransen also sleeps in. We determined
Oh
that.
boy, I love my sleep.
Yeah, Bransen likes to sleep in the morning.
I'm a night work router.
That's when muscles grow.
About 6.
When you sleep.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Is there some theory behind that?
No, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's the science behind it.
So you're supposed to lift later in the day?
No, I
Or
mean,
does it
Supposed
matter
to get
when
a lot
you
of rest. For
li-
sure.
lift
Rest.
whenever. I mean, if you really want to get into the science behind this whole thing, you're supposed to
Not
lift.
that I care, but
You're
I'm sure
supposed to-
someone does.
You're supposed to lift or do any physical activity. That at your peak would be when your body temperature is the highest, which everyone is a little bit different, but it's going to land somewhere between like 1 and 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Is when your body temperature is the highest. And then you want to keep it away from when your body temperature is the lowest, which is right when you're about to fall asleep. It's like that's what you're trying to manage. But not all of us can go lift weights at fucking
Brady's
1 in the afternoon.
Brady's midnight lift sessions are actually
Not
doing him no good.
Not good.
He'd be better off to do it early evening
Yeah.
or morning.
Morning would be much better.
He's out bear hunting today, by the way. We
Yes,
should
he
probably
is.
note that. Brady
Shout out
and
to
Brady and
Brady.
Omar are out bear hunting in Idaho. New Mexico? Oh,
Mexico.
Idaho.
Gotcha.
Mexico. He's in France.
Tijuana.
Hunting
France.
bears right now.
Got
I'm
it.
sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so Brady's out bear hunting today, but we thought we'd invite you guys on. You guys both live in Cedar City. You work out of our Cedar City office. So those of you that might not be aware, we have the main office in Vegas, which how often do you guys get asked that?
Quite a bit on
Quite a
phones,
bit.
honestly.
Yeah,
You know.
people always want to know, where are you guys located?
Yeah.
I'm like, Vegas. And then they're always like, Vegas?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we're trying to get Lorenzo to move it.
Yeah,
But
you won't.
It
Are
got
we?
close there for a little bit, but
Yeah.
just couldn't do it.
yeah, no, Vegas is a good hub, good hunting culture.
I think so. It's like super overlooked. I've told people this for a long time, but like Vegas is not, if you don't live here, your perception of Vegas could not be more different than what it is as a resident of Vegas.
Yeah.
Like it's a cool place. It kind of is what you make of it, right? Like I live out in North Town, just kind of out below the mountains, like tons of BLM land, tons of,
Yep.
outdoor activities constantly. It's like not what you would think about,
And you got your deadline for Nevada coming up. This won't
Yeah,
be released in
deadline's
time, but it'll be a day after. So deadline's tomorrow?
Yeah.
I think tomorrow the 10th. Did you already apply?
No, I can't decide what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's me.
I've put in my choices and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Forth.
I think
So I don't know.
Nevada mule deer is probably the one application that I wrestle with more than any other application
Man, it's gonna be a
all
good
year.
Yeah.
Like even Colorado, when you have all the different units and all the different hunts, that one in Nevada is like the one that I put more thought, more effort into thinking about than any other. I wrestle with that for a week.
And I'm a
At
resident with 10 points right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
You got options.
ooh,
You got
I got
a lot of
options and I cannot decide. what
I'm
I
a
want.
non-resident with 10, which means a whole hell of a lot less
A whole lot less than where I'm sitting.
than it does for you. And for elk, it almost means nothing. I almost cried just here right there. I got,
You're okay, man.
I got a little choked up thinking how insignificant my points are in Nevada for elk. But before we dive in, we're going to talk about shed antlers, obviously, today. We mentioned earlier we need to have some real shed hunters. That's why we invited you guys
here we
on.
are. You're welcome.
Well, we need some live banter with friends who understand each other's, humors and
Oh, yeah.
point of view. Because we got called out on, Trail did on YouTube.
Trail.
I've been insensitive to shed hunters.
Yeah, that we were insensitive to shed hunters, which I would agree. And I thought we kind of just straight up said, if you are a shed hunter, it's probably not going to like what we have to say. Because like none of me, you, or Brady, it's not what we're into. It's not what we do. Not what we think about. You know what I mean?
I used to a lot. I mean, it's like
You
I
did
told-
say that.
I love
It's
the
like I
stories
told
from
this guy. I did used to shed hunt quite a bit. I spent a good amount of time, like in my early 20s and 30s. I got a lot of weeks in every spring. I get out and get.
I don't know if I've ever been. Actually, I know that I've never been shed.
You
hunted.
never been?
Never.
No, well,
Not one time ever.
Never.
No kidding.
Never. Not one.
Have
time.
you ever had the desire?
Never. Not one time.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just not. I like the animal on the hoof. I like the animal alive. If I were, people go after like certain animals to pick up their sheds. I would rather just kill it or like be with the person that killed it and find it when it's alive, right? Like I don't, and I hear stories all the time about, but if you find their sheds, you know where their winter grounds are, and then you can kind of,
Put
go
pieces
from
together.
there and
Yeah,
track
there's
it back
some
and
truth
see which, I can understand that there is some truth there, but that's kind of more of a shot in the dark, in my opinion, than anything, right? Like,
Is
I
that
don't know.
time of year
Just-
typically like busy for you? More busy
yeah,
than like
for sure. That is a good point. Like, it's definitely been. This is our busy season, and it was too when in my previous life in the casino industry. Yeah, like this time of year.
people
is-
starting to travel.
And it's like pre-summer. So like pre-summer is always busy, right? And it was in the casino industry, same as it is here. And yeah, so I mean, it definitely played a role in it, but like I've never been motivated by like the grown-up Easter egg hunt. It's just never been a thing for me.
I knew these digs were coming from Lorenzo. I love it.
It's just never been a thing for me.
The grown-up
Like
Easter
just
egg.
wander and find an Easter egg. It's just never been a thing for me.
Yeah, for me, it's become kind of a time. It's a time crunch for
Yeah.
me, is what it's ultimately become. And it used to be like when my kids were smaller, they weren't playing sports on weekends, especially through the spring. It seems like you got everything going. You've got basketball still going on. I've got kids starting to play soccer, so it seems like every weekend now I'm going to 2 or 3 or 5 games. So it's just like harder to find time to go out and shed hunt. But let me jump into your guys' motivations.
Oh,
Why? What's the deal?
I think it's funny hearing Lorenzo's perspective because I have a way different perspective. I'm never going to be able to hunt these animals. There's just no way, shape, or form, especially like, let's say, deer in Utah and, finding bighorns like this. I've grown up my whole life on that. I don't apply for deer. I have a theory that I can kill a big deer on a general unit. Mm-hmm. And so I don't apply for limited entry. I like elk. I'm an elk guy through and through. And so I'd rather...
Too bad Brady's not here.
Yeah.
They would just talk for hours on this.
You're an elk guy through and through.
Oh my gosh, I love elk.
You grew up next to the Ponsagon.
That's the thing. I've had too much deer. And I've talked about this with a lot
Too
of people.
much deer.
Yeah. I have hunted deer my entire life. I've picked up deer horns my entire life. But something big and yellow that screams at you and says, I'm over here, I love it. It just gets me going. Oh, man.
Do you think that's an age thing? I've talked about this before, but I think it's an age thing. I think, like when I was a kid growing up, it was mule deer because we didn't have a ton of elk. We started to get
elk
more and
wasn't
more
years
elk. Like I
ago.
talked about my dad hunting back in the 80s. There were very few elk, a lot of deer, so everybody was like deer crazy. I mean, the big family deer camp was such a huge deal. And then like Utah, early 2000s, we really started to become a elk state.
Yeah.
You started killing a bunch of 400-inch bulls, and you were at that young, impressionable age.
I think there's a lot of truth behind it.
You were watching DVDs, I bet, back then.
Me and Doyle, best
You and Doyle, that's right. What was his DVD series called? Do you remember?
Monster
Bulls?
Monster Bulls.
No.
No, I can't remember the name of it.
I can't
Oh,
remember.
what was it?
Mossback.
It's
Yeah,
screaming something, isn't it?
Screaming Bulls?
Shit, I can't believe we can't remember this.
Mid-podcast.
But I remember that series coming out. But do you think it's an age thing?
I've never really thought about that, but it makes a lot of sense because it's super impressionable. When you're a kid, that stuff's awesome. And so, I mean, that's the way I look at it is I've just been around deer my whole life. And so when I was introduced to elk, I thought it was new and awesome.
Yeah.
And I've just gravitated towards that my entire life. Like the first time I picked up an elk horn, I was like, that is way cooler than this little deer horn.
Is it a horn or an antler?
Antler, gosh dang it. I'll be
called out
correct.
on that one.
You
Yeah.
horn hunters.
I will
You horn
absolutely
hunters.
be corrected 20 times over that. I call it the
Horn's
wrong
just
thing.
easier to say, right?
Yes.
I think that's a small town hick thing too.
I think so
no,
too.
that's something like it is. Yeah.
We're not politically correct.
Guys with
Kanab, Utah.
Guys with bent brims.
Yeah, exactly. I get in that mailbox.
But yeah, we can call it horn hunting.
Yeah, I mean, I just to go off what Lorenzo said, I'm the complete opposite. I'm never going to be able to hunt these animals, especially in say Nevada in these premier elk units. I can go pick up horns, not very likely, but off a 380 bull, and to me that's awesome. Is it going to be as much gratification as killing it? Absolutely not.
Is it not?
I know. I will hands down hunt actual animal over shed hunting. But like I said, I'm not going to have that opportunity. And so I just think it's awesome to go off what Lorenzo said. Let's say, like when I guide and I hunt on a Utah unit during the archery and I spend a lot of time with them on the summer and I get to know these patterns and I get to know these deer, to hold that horn in my hand at the end of the year and to actually see measurements, I love that. Like, how far was I off? Like, I thought this deer was this big. I get to hold that horn and be like, oh, I was really close. Or I get to see different characteristics, drop tines, or, I just love to hold the horns and see the characteristics. I just love, animals. So I think it's sweet.
You bring up a good point that makes me think. I think some of the guys that I know that are the best judge of what an animal might score on the hoof are guys that put a lot of time into shed hunting and handle a lot of sheds. Like, I know a lot of guys that can tell you pretty precisely, and I think it's because they've had the ability to pick up and look at so many sheds in hand.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I don't disagree with that at all. but like,
But
it's
why?
not my, yeah, like, it's not my motivating
Yeah.
thing either.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you know,
What
Why?
else do you like about it?
I get in shape. Me and him were
That's a
talking
huge
about
one.
it earlier. Yeah, is I use it to hike my butt off and to make the falls easier. Like for me, I can't just go get on a stair stepper, and that doesn't do it for me. If I throw in my pack, you know, I've got my optics, I've got my backpack, I've got snacks, I've got a jacket, and I'm headed up to the tallest peak to get on a south slope. You know, that's going to take a pretty good push, and I'll push myself. Like when I'm out there, and I'm like, well, I'm tired. I better stop, take a breath. No, I keep going. And so I use it to get in shape. That's a huge one for me. When I wasn't doing it as much, I literally was getting fatter. And I was like, I need to go hike. I talked to my wife and be like, listen, I got to go hike.
You got to
And-
get in wedding shape.
Exactly. I got to fit in that suit. And that thing is
That's what it is right
streamlined.
now. That's the big push right
isn't
now.
the wedding
for sure.
shape thing? That's another interesting thing to me too. Like this whole wedding shape, like, yeah, just for the one, like,
Yeah.
how about just,
Is
like,
your bride to
the
be getting in
forever?
wedding shape?
She already is in shape. Like I said, smoking hot. I can't wait for her to see this. She's going to get so embarrassed. Briquel is her name. Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, that's right. Wedding shape is a thing,
It's
isn't it?
so funny.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a thing for me, but that was a billion years ago.
Yeah, but you're looking
What-
good always.
What? When did you start? When did you start shed hunting?
So
Do you remember?
I do actually. So my dad, he would actually put me in his backpack and take me with him. And so as soon as I could walk, or even just a little bit before that, I was going along with my dad. It was something that was always ingrained in our family. And so that, like, listen to what both of your responses are. Like, I feel like mine's a lot similar to Bransen's in a way, especially like for like the mental and physical aspect of things.
Mental.
Because
What do you
no,
mean? What do you
legit.
mean? What do you mean mental?
Mental.
That's a huge one
Big.
because you go through, like, let's look at this last year, right? In Utah, we had this horrible winter. Like, you're going to work in the dark, you're coming home in the dark, you're not doing much on the weekends. And to be able to be out in God's country and hike around and actually just be out and enjoy it, that's where it was huge for me. Like, yeah, it's awesome finding some sheds and being able to hike around. But, like, just being out in nature that time of year is just, you can't beat it.
Oh yeah, I craved it. Like now that he like talks about mental, I had to have mental breaks. Like God bless work, but there's times when you got to leave, you got to unplug, turn
You
the
give
phone
me half
off.
your hours? What are you trying to say?
I don't know what you're talking about. What's up?
We getting full work weeks out of you? What's going on?
Sometimes.
Go hunt Fridays.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
Testing maps, you know, doing those types of things, looking at maps. I literally needed it mentally. You know, like you said, that winter lasted for 8 months. You know, we were in snow all the time up in Utah, and so I needed that mental break. You know, like getting out and to enjoy it, getting in shape like we talked about, but just to unplug and to take a deep breath. It goes a long ways for me, for sure.
There's one thing I can agree with on the shed hunting. There's one thing I can agree with. There is no question the only way to get in shape for hunting is to be out there, right? Unstable footing, side hills.
Oh, yeah.
Backpack on,
Yeah.
heavy backpack on. And it's not, 2 hours in the morning. It's an endurance all day.
Yeah.
Manage your thirst, your hunger, your endurance, all that stuff. That is the one thing that I can see the benefit in for sure. But that's what scouting does a lot of though too.
Right. I think something that's huge too is, so I've been married a year and a half now, and my wife, she never was into shed hunting until we got married. And now every spring, that's something that we get out and do together. And so I definitely think it helps you build relationships, whether you're going with buddies or with your parents or whoever it may be. I just think there's a lot of benefits to it. And obviously you can get that scouting or, shooting clay pigeons or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of the way that me and my wife connect. And obviously she finds way bigger antlers than I do. She picked up that giant brown a
Crushes
few
it.
days ago.
Crushes it.
And she crushes it. And so I think, especially from a marriage aspect of things, that's something that helps us a ton, is being out, doing those recreational activities. The gym's awesome, but like just being outside together. Like last night, got off work, we went for a little hike just outside Cedar, and she picked up 2 antlers. Nothing giant, but like it was
I
still
left
fun.
those for you guys.
Yeah. Easter eggs. The little 2.3 point. I need to get them on those.
You're
yeah.
welcome.
So-
I just took those out of my stash in the garage, and just I know Braden's gonna come
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, like I noticed you guys are speaking to like higher level things than just shed hunting, right? Like doing something with your wife. Like
Yeah,
that's
Dr. Phil, what are you doing?
Right.
right. Like having
Calm it down a little.
having something to do with your wife or your sons or your kids, whatever it is. Like for sure, I'm all about it. But like, if it wasn't shed hunting, could you think of anything else that you would be doing?
That time of year, I don't know. It's hard. With weather and stuff, like we love fishing and stuff. Like I guess you can go out and hike around, but that kind of, unless I'm scouting or looking for antlers, like I don't really care for it that much. Yeah. You know, and so there's a lot of other benefits, obviously. Like I paid for my wife's wedding ring with a antler pile. Like that's like we collect so many every year that we just sell it. And then like right now, our rule since we've been married is all the money we make from finding antlers goes into our hunting funds. So that's gas or, you know, gear or a new backpack or something. So we spend it like, you know, going out shed hunting, and then we make it back and we put it back to hunting. So that's kind of a fun way just to kind of have a little savings on the side. And yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a question. I got a list of questions.
I love
questions.
Let's go.
You do too?
Yeah, keep firing them up. Fire them off. Let's
so this
go.
kind of goes into it. So part of the motivation, you guys have kind of, you know, taken it to a deeper level. You talked to the reasons that you like it: mental, physical, just getting out, vitamin D, all that.
Right.
How much is monetary gains? Do you sell the sheds? How much is that a motivation for you shed hunting?
I'm an opposite from him. I don't do that well. Like, to be completely honest, like I love to get out, but if I pick up a horn, it's a freaking bonus. And that's how it's been this year for me.
Pick up an antler.
Gosh dang it, sorry.
A bone.
Like I said,
If you go to Bone Zone.
If I pick it up, it's literally a bonus. And when I do, you know, pick something up, like, you know, a couple of these are like kind of for my keeper pile. If it's big enough, I keep it. I don't know why.
How big's it got to be to keep it?
I don't know. That's the thing is like, I love unique, you know, like if it's unique, I'll keep the heck out of it. Elk, like 350. I like that. Deer, you know, 180 plus. I just like to be, you know, to hold them in my hands. It's really weird. And I have a lot of my buddies who are the same way. They like to hold some bone in their hand, whether that's an antler or a horn. Yeah, exactly.
Is that a canap thing?
But it's
I think
like,
that's
Not a
a
lot of
male
girls
thing.
in your high school. Like, what's going on?
dude, we only had 60 kids in my graduating class. I mean, come on. But no, I do sell them, yeah, but I don't depend on it monetary like maybe Braden does.
You're not going out to get rich.
Nope.
You're
no
not,
way.
You're not picking
I spend
up
more money
on
in
gas?
100%.
How about you?
It's kind of the same way, honestly. Like, we find it as a bonus if we get out and find them. And obviously, I do think we're a little bit more diehard than most people. So, like, we'll do 10, 15 miles in a day easy. And we'll really grind and e-scout and put time in, you know, go out on the winter ranges and glass for these animals and things. And so we definitely do it for a little bit of the money for sure. I think that's a great way to just save up a little bit on the side. And so, especially, you know, not being married very long, kind of a young couple. And so we just do whatever we can to make it. And so I think that it's a great way to make money. And, you know, there's a lot of times we could turn up, you know, 10 antlers in a day. So it's
a lot of
well
money.
worth it.
How
Yeah,
much
it
money
is.
do you think you make in a year? Like, what's your best year that you've had picking up? How much money do you think you've cleared in antlers?
It depends. I would say around $3,000, depending on what we keep and what we sell. So, I mean, anywhere in that range.
$3,000? $3,000?
It's more than I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
No, legit. Like usually, so like last year before we sold, we had a pile in our hunting room in our apartment, and it was about as tall as that door of elk sheds. And so every year we'll just kind of go through, and honestly, we don't usually do it for score, but if there's a nice set in there, something, we'll keep it. But like I held on to this guy, like just something unique. And just for the memories. And it's always fun, you know, whether he pulls up next door and I show him a set that we found or something. It's just a lot of fun to show and tell. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in those things. Like that brown elkhorn right there is probably 10 pounds.
So let's talk about price. How much? I'm kind of aware, but give me the rundown on grading antlers. And
I
then-
am not aware at all. If it's not on the animal alive, I had no clue.
So it's simple. There's brown, there's white, and there's like a chalk horn. Pink, cracked, any of that. That's different grading that these guys are going through for deer and elk. So like that deer or that elk horn right there, let's say it's 10 pounds. Right now, prices for that is $16 a pound. So that horn, $160 right there. And if you find a couple, you've made some pretty good money. And
Adds up quick.
Yeah, and then the white, what did I say they were, 10? It was 16, 10 for a white horn. per pound, and then it's going to be like 4 for chalk. And then deer's going to be a little different. I talked to my buddy. He said 10, 6, and 2 is what the prices are. Not near as much money made for deer, but there's a lot of money being made in elk. I think that's why it's so popular right now.
Are prices higher now than they have been?
Last year was the highest I ever seen of $19 a brown per pound for elk, which adds up for little guys from Kanab. It adds up pretty good.
Does it matter if the antlers broke, chipped?
Nope.
Doesn't matter.
Nope. Just
It's got to be an antler. That's about it.
Do you get more for set?
you can. That's one thing I've never pursued is like I've seen guys sell them on eBay or like there's like Facebook groups. And
I've
they'll
done
sell
that.
'em. Yeah, and I've seen people make some money.
I always sold my sets on eBay.
Yeah.
I always got more money selling on eBay. But then this is also, 20 some years ago when prices weren't that high
Yeah.
for antler. And it seems to be that they're higher now. I want to say back then it was like maybe $10 a pound for brown at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I could make a lot more money selling them on eBay.
Yeah. I've heard of guys, if you find a giant cool set, say 400-inch elk, couple grand, maybe north of, 6, 7, 8 grand. It's just a bunch of money,
Yeah.
And so I guess that's where it comes down to is like, well, you're doing it for money. You're going to go find that big set. You're going to go sell it, or you're going to put it above your mantle and tell stories about it.
So this is what I wrestle with, right? Like the which I'm all for, right? Like I'm all for making money every way you can. But like we're paying money to go hunt, right? And we're supposed to be paying money, conservation, paying all this stuff, then using the land to now go get the horns off the animal to then go sell and then make money from it. It's just like it's a weird concept in my mind. It's like a really weird thing in my mind to make money off of it. The only thing I know as far as making money goes, like all that pound stuff, I have no clue. But like anything that's somewhat, quote unquote famous, like some of those deer that are known, right? Like King in Wyoming. If anybody finds that guy's sheds, they're going to sell it for
Yeah.
a ton of money just because it's a famous deer.
Right.
Which is, it's just an interesting concept to me that you're using the land for free, right? Like,
Is it an ethical debate then for you?
I don't know.
That was one of my
Not for me
questions.
personally. Not for me personally. Like, I honestly, look, who I am as a person is like very understanding. I'm all for people making money whatever way they can. Tell the government to stay out of all of our lives. Like nobody needs to know, kind of a thing, right? But like the concept of it for me is the interesting part, right? It's like we do all this, we raise money for conservation and for protecting the lands and doing all this stuff for these animals, and then we're out there tearing up the land when they're the most like in need of just kind of a safe haven, especially coming out of a winter like this, which is why we had the ban until May 1st. And it's just the concept itself. When I kind of look back simplistically at 30,000 feet and look at it, I'm like, this is weird. This is interesting. It doesn't quite make sense to me.
Yeah. Do you guys think shed hunting is? I was going to save this one, but I think it leads into a nice little lead in. Do you guys have internal moral qualms with shed hunting? Do you think it's ethical?
I don't have. I mean, there's
So
problems.
you're basically saying you're immoral. So it's just
You know me. You know the answer to that already. There can be problems. There are going to be people with 4-wheelers running these damn things ragged and killing them. There's going to be people out there with dogs running around.
snow tracks.
Yeah, there's.
Become very popular.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways it can be immoral, but for instance, for myself, it's not like I'm going to look at a group of deer and
Maybe not
go
immoral. Maybe
towards them.
unethical.
Hey, potato.
I just had a thought pop in my head. I'm sorry to
No, go ahead.
jump in right now, but to make it, I'm wrestling with like how to make it make sense. If I draw a tag, I can't sell it, right?
Right.
The
But
head?
if I can't sell.
You can't
tag.
sell the tag.
Correct.
You could
right?
kill the
Like,
animal and sell it.
Yeah,
depending
of course.
on.
Of course I could. But then like, I paid the money to go do it, but I can't sell it. And then if I find horns, I can sell it. You know what I mean? Like that's that weird concept in my mind. Not immoral or moral to me. I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, but you're also talking the entire animal. At that point, you're talking meat, the whole experience. The opportunity to actually
True.
kill the
Very
animal
true.
versus inanimate object that falls off the the head and is going to
Very
regrow.
true.
I feel like you could look at that like a rock. You know, like someone goes out and finds a cool rock, arrowhead, Indian artifact, which you can't sell.
Whoa.
But, you know, like
Whoa.
something.
That escalated.
Let's go a cool stick. Someone found a cool stick.
Someone say a curse word quick. So we can stop.
But like I feel like you could go sell something that is part of, you know, say the natural habitat and make money off of. What I used, probably not the best way to use those, but something else. I feel like it's just like it's laying there. It's part of the land now. And I understand where you're coming from. I'm like, yeah, how can you make money off that kind of ethical? But
to be clear, like I am not speaking from an ethical point or unethical. I'm just speaking
I
the
put that out there.
concept, right? Like I honestly do not give a shit.
Right.
Like I'm all for it. Go for it. Like, there's nothing against it. Go for it all day long. If there's a market, it's just the concept in general to me is just kind of awkward. It's just weird.
I think there can be ethics. There can be problems for sure. I mean, pushing them, killing them, doing that type of thing. But like me picking it up, and if I was to be making millions, maybe that's where I'd be like, okay, there's something to be said in that sense, but I make $100 a year, you know, like I'm not paying bills. I don't know. Do you find anything of that?
Honestly, when I think of this, I think of just about anything else in life. Like if you think of hunting, or like people are always going to find ways to bend and break the rules. And there's always going to be some way that they're going to either be harassing the deer or something's going to happen. Like there's a lot of morons out there. And so at least I try to do my part and be, you know, as ethical as possible. And it can be a really great experience. And so I feel bad for those people that feel like they have to shed poach, you know, before May 1st, or, you know, or out there chasing them on the four-wheeler. Like this last week I was hiking around and there was four-wheeler tracks all over, just like in the most random places. And you could tell that it was within the last couple of weeks. And so these people are out there running over all the brush and, you know, chasing stuff around. And yeah, of course, that's not right. I would turn that guy in 2 seconds. But
that happens in hunting though too. You know what I mean? Like that's not a specific. I actually think a live big animal creates a lot more immoral human response than
I think so.
Sheds.
Right.
People do some crazy shit over big animals that are alive when they have a tag in their pocket.
Drama gaunt.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the, you know, you're both from Utah. This is really the first year that we've had a shed season, if you will. I guess we've had a shed season kind of where you had
2017,
I mean, you had to take a, what do they call it, a shed hunter's ethics course. You take it online. You had to take the course, answer some questions, print out a certificate, sign it. You had to carry that. You have to carry that with you while you're out shed hunting. But there really wasn't ever, you know, you can't go, right? This year's been kind of the first year I can remember. Do you guys remember?
2017, they did it.
They did the same
Utah
thing.
did it? 2017.
So, but this year, I mean, I've heard more chatter about it than ever before, and it's because they ran it all the way to May 1st, right? That was like opening day of shed season, quote unquote, if you will. But how did you guys feel about that? Did you pissed off? Okay, agree? Disagree?
I was a little disappointed, but I understood why. And so I wasn't like super bugged by it, just because, you know, that's another couple months I'm going to be sitting in my apartment until I can get out and hike around. But honestly, like if it's for the health and welfare of the wildlife, then I'm all for it.
Do you believe that it is? In your heart of hearts, I mean, do you actually believe? I'm trying to I'm trying to drill down to the core of Braden. In your opinion, let's say that shed closure didn't happen this year. Internally, would you feel any ethical qualms within yourself, any issues within yourself about going out on March 1st versus May 1st?
I want to say yes. I've never I've never honestly really been put in that position. Usually, I mean, I'm not going to go hike around in 3 feet of snow, you know, and so if the weather's good, then most likely the animals are doing okay, and that's when I want to be out.
Gotcha.
I feel like that's a tough one right there, because when Utah was closed, you bet my ass was in Arizona shed hunting. And that's, I feel like there's a lot to be said in the area that you're going to be hitting and you're going to be hiking. You know, like I definitely feel like it was there for a reason, you know, like up north. And I feel like that's why it happened, was because up north, man, those herds got ravished this year. They got absolutely decimated in the winter. But you can't close it to just northern Utah and then not expect people to come down south and put added pressure on the southern Utah deer, which don't need that pressure. And so, you know, I don't know the biological standpoint, but I just know it made sense to do an entire statewide closure where, come March, I was down in Arizona because they didn't have a closure. And it was warm, it was sunny, and it was nice. And was I intentionally pushing deer around? No. But in the
Were you unintentionally pushing deer around?
I think it happens, absolutely.
Sure.
And there's that's where the ethics comes in is, do you think it's unethical to go out there and unintentionally push deer when they're on the low end of body reserves and trying to survive through that winter? Like I feel like March and April were the toughest months on these animals for sure. Like they were depleted, but I don't think that they were in bad in some areas. So like say northern Arizona, southern Utah, that herd, they didn't have to deal with 3 feet of snow a year. They had to deal with a little snow, maybe more than usual, but I don't think that they were in dire straits for sure. And so it's that whole ethics question is hard right there for sure. But I think it was needed. I think it did help a lot of herds across a lot of states this year.
Gotcha. Let me ask you another hard question. You guys are getting hit with the hard questions today. So one of the things that I read on social media quite a bit, and people that are pretty diehard shed hunters, was, how can the DWR justify a closure, shed closure, keeping people off public land when they're out flying for elk, flying for sheep. We have cow elk hunts that run into January. Those guys are out hunting elk, and that's all under the, the Division of Wildlife guidance and rules and regs and how do you see that? Do you see that as, is there conflict there in your minds? I mean, does one equal the other? How do you look at that? Because that's an argument. Typically, I look at it, I'm trying not to lead the witness too much here. I'll just let you answer. What do you think about it? And then I'll chime in.
That's a tough one, because if people can be out hiking and with their dogs and their dogs are chasing deer unintentionally, or they're out enjoying what nature has to offer, and that's how they, want to get out and recreate, who am I to say that they can't do that, other than when they're starting to push deer and stuff? And so that's where it's hard, because I heard the same thing. People are like, I can't go shed hunt, I can't go pick these up, but people can go hike and go push these deer around just like I would be doing. And I think that's where the whole moral thing has to come in there. It's like, well, is your moral compass, do those people even care enough, that aren't hunters, that don't recreate with that? Do they even care that they're pushing those deer around? And it's like, well, if you could, would you still go do that? Like if those people up in northern Utah, would they still go and hike? Would they still go do those things? And so that's tough. I don't. It's a double-edged sword, because I don't think that it should be open to everybody. But then at the same time, how do you enforce that? I feel like that was a huge thing that was said this year is man, shed poaching was bad. I know for a fact that there.
I want to get into that. Let's save it for a quick second.
It's how do you enforce it? Those people that are out recreating and walking their dogs. Who's to say someone shed hunting can't go grab their dog and go walk around and go pick up sheds? It's just really hard to enforce. And I don't know.
But is the fact that it's hard to enforce reason enough that the rule shouldn't exist?
No.
Do you see what I'm saying?
But I think it comes down to, do you want more government control? Where can we regulate ourselves?
Of course.
Canav. Here comes Canav shining through. Do you want to be told what you can and can't do more, or do you want to self-regulate? That's the way I kind of look at it. Like, I don't want to be told I can't go out.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, sometimes it might need to be done. I don't know what you think.
No, I definitely agree. I think it is a double-edged sword for sure, because there's going to be a ton of people are going to break the rules. There's going to be a lot of people out there, hunting turkeys or doing whatever, and you're not going to be able to stop that. And obviously, like I saw a lot of videos of the DNR out flying helicopters and tranquilizing elk and tagging them and doing all these different things. But if you think about the amount of shed hunters in Utah and the amount that didn't go out, I definitely think it did help. There's a lot of people that didn't listen to the rules, but I do think any person that did listen to that, it made a difference. I mean, a lot of the places I go shed hunting, I don't see people. I didn't see anyone last week. And so it just depends on the area and what people are willing to do.
Would you be in favor of having continual, let's just say moving forward, shed season starts May 1st?
Oof, that's tough.
I don't think May 1st, but I think definitely if you did the first week of April.
Why not May 1st?
At least for me, I felt like it was a little too long, just because, we've had nice weather for weeks now. And so and obviously it could be governed by each year and how the seasons go. And if we have a harsh winter, then yeah, let's do May 1st. And maybe that's the way they need to do it, is just kind of govern it and watch how the winter goes. But it definitely seemed like it was a little long this year.
I'm conflicted there. I'll use a good example. They went out and they were in the desert and they kept running into rattlesnakes. That sucks. You don't want to be hiking in that stuff. Lorenzo, you like snakes, right?
No.
and so it's like, I understand, how bad May 1st sucks, but at the same time, if it's for the betterment of the animal herd, absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
Do you think it's that? I think that's what it boils down to.
Well, I think
Like that. This is the quintessential question of the entire debate.
Yeah.
I think there's
Is
two
it better
things there.
for the herd?
I think so. In my
So
eyes.
if we think so, May 1st.
Well, yeah, and that's where I agree.
That's
and
my
disagree.
argument with people.
Yeah, because I look at it as May 1st, it keeps the honest people honest, and that's what sucks. Is because the further you delay, the people can go out and go shed hunt, the more horns are going to get picked up by people who give two shits, and so that's what sucks. That's where I'm like, no, it shouldn't be May 1st because
I guess
those
that's more
horns
of
are
a
gonna get
selfish
picked.
thing,
Yeah.
for sure.
It sucks for the honest people.
Yeah.
But I mean, does it suck for the herd? I mean, more people stayed home.
herd wise,
More people are honest than dishonest. I think.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I honestly, in my view, I think it is better for the herd. I think it would be better. Just like, I mean, how long has Wyoming done their May 1st opening? I think there's reason to think that it is better on the herds, easier, let them animals build up some more fat, hit that green up, get those nutrients flowing, and maybe start moving to maybe some summer grounds. Get off those winter grounds. I think that's why May 1st makes sense to me. I think it is easier on animals for sure.
Yeah. Interesting.
What do you think?
Okay. So here's
Sit back and relax.
Lorenzo. So here's my issue with the complaints that I've had from people that are pretty diehard shed hunters. Typically, like I said, the first thing they say is, "Why is it okay that the division is out flying elk and counting elk in January, or we're having hunts in January, or we're out putting collars?" Those are two different issues.
Yeah.
It's not even the same thing. It's not like one has one's not the other. It's like apples and oranges, just comparing two different things, right? You have shed hunting, which is essentially, in my opinion, it's a take, right? People are out on the landscape, they're hiking, they're taking antlers. They're getting enjoyment. I like to shed hunt, don't get me wrong. I love hunting in general. That's its own thing, right? The Division of Wildlife has a job to manage wildlife. Part of that job is to put collars on animals, to collect data, to better inform us of survival and mortality, winter range conditions, all that. If they're out doing buck to doe ratios, all that goes back into population modeling for later hunting those animals in the fall, right? So in my opinion, hunts in January, also that's a take from the landscape. You're managing herd numbers, right? So in my opinion, it's not even the same ballpark. You're talking about two completely different things. One is a recreational, both I guess you could say are recreational, ultimately hunting, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I guess you, in a simplistic form, you'd have to say that.
But in my opinion, they're two different things, right? And I don't quite understand the argument of like, hey, I can't go shed hunting. Why is it okay that they do that? It's like, well, that's okay because this is what's the ultimate goal for the herd as a whole. This is herd management. And I guess you could extrapolate and say, shed hunting is part of that equation. To me, it isn't. It's like kind of its own little thing. And that's just, again, that's like my personal take on shed hunting. My personal opinion, and it's kind of grown, developed. I was that guy. I picked up an elk antler on February 28th before. Biggest bull we ever picked up on February 28th. Super early.
How big was that bull?
Big, very big. Yeah, big, four something. But and I've picked up deer antlers in, I want to say January 27th one year, and that was in northern Utah on a real bad snow year. So I've been that guy. I've been out there watching animals, from a spotting scope, sitting up on a ridge, hoping to be that guy that watches an animal shed. That's like the holy grail, right?
Yeah.
For shed hunter, you get to watch an animal actually shed. So I've been that guy, and I don't know if it's just like I'm getting old and like curmudgeonly at this, point in my life, but like I almost think, yeah, give them a break. And I mean, something that we've kind of talked about more recently, April, that time frame in April can be the hardest month on big game. It's when you get those freeze thaw. You can have a hard snow. The weather's going to warm up during the middle of the day, thaw out. At night, it cools, crusts the snow hard, and the next day, those animals are pawing down through ice, essentially, to get to vegetation. So you have that freeze thaw, which is hard on an animal. You're expending a bunch of energy. It's also like the time of the year where they're kind of at the tail end of like their reserves, right? And before that green up starts to really put on protein and they can get back on that, it's a tough time of year for them. So for me, like April, it makes sense just, leave it closed during April. And my opinion, I think if you made it a season, if you will, and it just was like adopted across Utah, across the West, people would just expect it. Like May 1st is the day we can go out and hunt sheds, and you're always going to have people, you're always going to have poachers. You're going to have people that poach deer and elk during
hunting season.
Yeah, hunting season. They're going to go out and shoot that big animal that they didn't have a permit for because the temptation's there. You're going to have the same thing with shed hunters. You're going to have guys out picking up sheds. But I don't think that, I always have thought this, like, I don't think just because you have a few rule breakers doesn't mean that there's not a reason or cause for having a rule.
Right.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Could not agree.
High
more.
five.
High five on that. And
fancy.
from the overarching level of it, right? Like, yeah, the DNR doing what they do and shed hunters out there that's apples and oranges to like an entirely different level. And then it even gets down into like, look, we can all agree there is shitty people in everything, right? That are always breaking rules, are always going to do everything, both in hunting in fall and then shed hunters when the season's not supposed to open until May 1st, right? But I think everybody, if you look at it from like the bigger picture, I think everybody can agree that like, yeah, the people that are out there recreating with their dogs, they're not going to be bushwhacking like a shed hunter, not at the level shed hunters would be, right? Like they're going to be on trails, they're going to be, sticking to close quarters, they're going to be making sure they're home, whatever. Like they're not all day recreators. They're not out there to bushwhack and go look for Easter eggs in the middle of nowhere. They're kind of out there just, getting their steps in or whatever it is, getting some sunlight, whatever it is. So, like, I don't think that's a similar comparison either. That like, oh, shit, well, they get to go walk their dogs. They're not doing what you're doing though. Like the dog might run off and chase, a few deer and this and that, which they should be on leashes, right? There's rules for that. Some people aren't going to have their dogs on leashes, and some people are. It's just they're going to break those rules. People on four-wheelers and UTVs, they're going to be on roads, or at least they should be. The shitty people that aren't on roads, they're just shitty people, same as anybody else who's breaking rules, right? So like, I think everybody can agree that like, if you really look back and take a deep breath, it's not the same thing, right? Like you are out there bushwhacking. You are where they want to be and where they are, which is why their horns are there, right? They're not on the trails where people are walking their dogs and doing all this stuff. So the whole May 1st thing makes sense to me, that especially that April, being their hardest month. But it's when it gets back to the ethics thing, like that's why it's really hard to decide on, is because ethics are, if there isn't a rule in place, I believe in the use of radios. Totally but I absolutely understand where people are coming from when they say it's unethical. Right. But like I'm for the use. I think that the biggest our biggest weapon, so to speak, is our ability to communicate clearly in real time and like within pinpoint accuracy. Why do humans have to take that away when the animals that we're chasing, their biggest strengths and weapons against us are sight, smell, hearing, all this stuff. So it's like, it kind of makes it it's like that's our biggest weapon and going against their biggest weapon, and it doesn't always work, right? Does it help? Absolutely. I'll never argue that ever. But it helps against what they're much better than us at, right? But ethically, if there's not a rule in place, like if I'm not in a state where it's illegal and I'm using them, like I feel fine. If I'm in a state where there is a law that says you cannot use them, I am now unethical. Like I am breaking a known law, which is what an early shed hunter would be doing who's going out in April, right? It's kind of that's ethics I don't think anybody's unethical if they're not breaking any rules, right? Like I don't think anyone's unethical.
Yeah.
So that's like that hard thing. But what I don't think is hard and what I want to get into is the mindset of the shed hunters, right? Mm-hmm. So like when you guys walk up on sheds and the motivation to go out there, is it money? Is that the first thought on your mind? Is it finding, a bull or a buck that you knew was in the area? Like, what is that motivating? Like my hunting motivation is very specific in my mind. Like what is it that makes you guys want to go find an Easter egg in the middle of nowhere?
What's it like walking up on one?
Oh, it's
I did
for you.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. I would relate it to finding a big buck or bull, honestly. Like the same adrenaline and excitement you get from finding an awesome animal like that, it's quite similar to finding antlers. Big or small, I like them all. Like they're just fun, And it's, I can't explain it, but it's just adrenaline rush. It's fun. And I wouldn't say that money's the main driver at all. I love getting out there and finding them and seeing what we can find,
I hate to rat on myself, but I've always wanted to be cool. And when you find big shit, you're pretty cool. Like when you kill big animals, you're pretty dang cool.
There's definitely some social status.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Is how?
Sure.
How much of the driver is social media?
Yeah, I
in your guys' opinion.
I wouldn't say
not for you personally,
for myself,
but not for you. Maybe speak personally and then just generally.
Yeah, for myself, there was a time, and I had a pretty good reality check, and I looked in the mirror, and I realized
I'm buff.
I was trying to be cool, dude. And I was trying to kill big shit, and I was trying to find big horn antlers.
There you go.
I had a cough there. And I was trying to do that because I wanted to be the next cool kid. And because you've seen it make careers. You've seen people base their companies off of an animal they killed or antlers they found. And I've seen that in myself, and I took a big step back.
Well, like the Fireball?
What?
Never heard of it.
Yeah. What? And there was a point in time where I was trying to be that guy, like 100%, and I took a step back, and I realized that's not me. I enjoy it way more than that. I enjoy it way more than someone giving me a like, and that's not where I wanted to be. I can't say that for the other people out there, but there's something to be said. People are looking to make some money, and they'll do anything to make money. And if they can create a following, create people's subscribers, man, they make a bunch of money doing this. Just picking horns up, videoing themselves. People live for it vicariously through them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people doing it for social status, for social media, which can be a conflict for me. I didn't want to do it. It's not who I was, but some people like it.
Yeah. A lot of people like it.
Yep. It's big.
Yeah.
It's
It's
big
huge
now.
right now, yeah.
And it has
I was going to ask you, one of my questions was, what's your favorite shed hunting handle on Instagram? Because there's a boatload of them.
There is a lot.
Shout out to @Eric Chester. Yeah, the best one out there.
What is his handle? I don't even
know. He blocked me.
Oh,
did he block you? Oh shit! You guys are obviously not who I'm talking about. At least I don't think. I'm not on social media, but my perception, I can tell you what I think about what a lot of the cool factor is, right? Springtime gives you an excuse to wear a cutoff shirt or no shirt, for that matter, for somebody who spends way too much time in the gym instead of hunting, right? So, some people who I would say are not, don't look like the best or most dedicated hunters out there. But the whole cool factor of holding up a shed, got the arm flex going on because you got 20-pound horns, right? And it's a whole like look at me type of thing,
100%.
right? On multiple different levels, like not just like look at the animal I found, but also look at what I look like at the same time. You know what I mean? Like that's what I see about it, and it's like, and so social media has its other on the hunting side too. Don't get me wrong. Like it's I'm not trying to like parse the two away from each other. They're both one and the same in my opinion. But like, man, that cool factor of finding big shit, and it's just a reality of life though. Like
that's
stats,
in general. I mean,
it's just stats make life.
It's the reason you pick a pair of shoes to put on in the morning.
Correct.
You think they look cool or look good.
Correct. Stats make a career. Stats make a life. You can think about it from the easiest one, professional athletes, all the way down to successful business people. Like it's all about stats. How many times you win, how many times you lose. Did you make more than you lost, right? Like it's all about stats. So I get that part of it. But then social media just kind of takes it that extra little bit.
Yeah, the extra.
Like the look at me world.
Yep.
And that's where I'm just like, man, this is weird. It's really weird.
Yep.
I mean, I get the same. I know what you guys are talking about. Like, it is thrilling to walk upon an antler. And, if you've had the opportunity to scout even, and you get out and you found a bull or a buck that you've, like, put a bunch of time into watching, and then to pick that thing up, it's even that much more gratifying. There is, like, this sense of like thrill and satisfaction. And I don't know. I get that. And I get everything that you're saying. I get the, getting outdoors. Springtime's a great time. Everything's blooming, everything's greening up. I get that part of it. And I think I would bet you, even the people that are like your most diehard, like, look at me, look cool, I like the likes, I bet you if you like really drill down to it, even for them though, like the actual addiction is just picking up the antler.
Oh yeah.
I would agree.
I
would agree.
I think so.
I think
the unknown is a big thing too. Like
That-
you
that
turn
is-
a corner, it's like, whoa.
that is one thing about shed hunting that unknown, like that you and I felt when we were kids. I don't know that it exists so much anymore, like with hunting, because I feel like you and I, like if we're going out, we're probably going after an animal that we've scouted
Yeah.
and we've
Yeah.
looked at. We have like a specific animal or type of animal in mind. There is that with shed hunting, like that unknown. Like you might walk around a tree and find a 380 bull or
Yeah.
190 inch
Find something,
deer. So like that's definitely there in a way that maybe hunting isn't.
Yeah,
so
and
much anymore.
I honestly would agree with that, because I think the amount of work it takes is like they do have to be addicted by the pickup of the shed, right? It's like it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like maybe the secondary is even the coolest people on Instagram. Like the secondary is probably that Instagram post, but like man, that's so much work to get
100%.
that right. They
Right.
definitely have to have some addiction to the horn itself. I would agree.
Yeah.
To piggyback off that, like as a human, you have a weird nature. I know for myself, I am addicted to highs and lows. Like I will go and bust my butt out hiking and have the lowest of lows, spend 20 miles and not find a horn. And when you turn the corner and you find it right at last light, you're back on top of the world. And it's just a weird, I've noticed it in my life. Like you don't realize how good something is until you're down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And for myself, like when I pick up a big set, whether it's at the first 10 minutes of the hike or the last 10 minutes, you feel on top of the world. And you get addicted to that. I know it myself. Like,
It's
I love
a
it.
dopamine hit. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly. The runner's high for sure.
So I got some other questions I want to ask.
Yeah.
Did you have any others?
Yeah.
No, I want to get like into real mindsets. So if you're
You
going
do?
down that path, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go.
No, no.
Mine are silly.
Your silly ones.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, I got some silly ass questions.
Yeah. So like, here's another my personal thought that I want to hear your guys' thoughts on. Right. Like, if I were to find an animal scouting, and it was one that I just got my juices flowing, right, and I really wanted to kill it, and I gave it everything to kill it, and I didn't get it done, I would not go look for his sheds. I don't want them. I don't deserve them. I don't want them. I couldn't kill that animal, right? Like I wouldn't pick them up. I wouldn't even think about it. Can genuinely say, even if I walk, I am a kind of a petty, like I'm a what's the right way to say it? Like a personal punishment based type of mindset. You know what I mean? Like,
You didn't earn it.
yeah. So for me, like even if I was out there doing, I don't know, I was out there with my son and got unbelievably shithouse lucky and walked on that animal because I'm not out there shit hunting, I still would just be like, oh, there he is. I'm not picking him up because I didn't kill that animal. You know what I mean? So like the separation of hunting and killing to the separation of picking up, the gratification on that. You guys have already spoke to that. It's definitely not the same thing, but like, is it though? Is it not entirely the same thing? Or is there a connection to like, there is a little bit of gratification on, well, you at least got, second place and we're on the podium, but it's just not gold.
I think there's a lot to be said there for competition. When you're out hunting, you might be competing against other hunters, you might be competing against that deer, might be competing against yourself. It's all mental mindset. The same thing with finding those horns. There's a lot of people trying to find them. There's a lot of people doing that same thing. They could even be watching that same bull. It could come down to, if you're a very competitive person, you just want to win. And like for me, I spend a lot of time in the winter because I want to win. And it's a sticky.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a driver for you.
It is. Because
That's really interesting.
It's just like whether you call this weird or not, I just want to be better. I just want to, I want to know that I can go harder than somebody else.
Interesting.
And whether it's me applying myself at the gym or at work, trying to strive to be higher, which I know you wouldn't think that, but it can happen. But like in hunting, in fishing, for hell's sakes, I want to be better than that other person. I want to catch more fish. I want to find more horns, antlers. And that's a driver for me, which is weird. But
So maybe this is a part that I don't understand, because like for me, it's so hard for me to understand how somebody could be better at shed hunting than somebody else.
I don't think it's being better, it's going harder.
There are
More
definitely guys that are
dedication
better.
there for sure.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it then? So I'm kind of coming to this conclusion right now. Like what does separate it? Because I don't understand how, right? You pick good winter ground where you know big animals are, like the Ponce-Cant, and you just go beat down winter range.
I think I'll let you hear, but I'll chime in real quick. But I think it's a lot of the same things that people that are better at hunting in general are. I think it's the same types of characteristics. I think it's patience, persistence, time, having a better understanding of like where the animal is, eyesight, just like search image, just like picking up an antler. Like I've walked past sheds for sure.
Many.
I'm sure you guys have as well. I remember one time I sat with a buddy. We ate a sandwich at lunch. We've been looking for deer antlers, and we just sat there, ate lunch the entire time. We got up, put our packs on, went to split other ways, and there was a nice 170 set of deer antlers in the bottom of an oak right there, just next to me. Yeah, oak bush. So I know that you miss them, but I think it's a lot of the same types of things. I think.
So I get patience and persistence,
Yeah.
because that will translate into anything in life. Right?
Yeah, but
Like,
there's not that like next step. There's not like the playing the wind, there's not the stalking, the stealthiness, making the right decision. There's more than that. There's more in hunting than, shed hunting. Shedding.
There's a
see,
lot of
and that's
luck.
like that's where my mind is like that's where it's broke for me. The connection of it. It's like, I mean, patience, persistence, right? Hard work. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. That will always translate, right? But like the next step of, I mean, I get you did say two things though. Image, your
Search image. Like
I get that, because it always does take you. For me, my first day scouting, it's always kind of like a level set, a reset. And then being like more connected to the animals, which forage they're on at certain times of year, which, drainages, south facing, north facing, all this stuff. I get that, but it's like, yeah, it's that next bit that I don't understand how you could be better.
I do think there's quite a bit of different skills that you can apply, whether that's recognizing what feed they like that time of year, where water sources are, what kind of cover they're going to be in. One thing I've discovered over the years from like shed hunting bulls is they love to go through passes and they love ridge lines. And so the average Joe, like when I was growing up in junior high and high school, I'd have my daddy who drop me off 5 miles from town, and I would walk back to town. And I would just walk a straight line, and if I picked up a 2-point or something, then cool.
Cody, did you shit your pants?
That was a very awkward sound.
All right, sorry about that.
It was a very awkward sound.
Cody didn't just shit his pants for the podcast. Carry on.
So I definitely think there's things that you can learn over the years that you can apply, similar to hunting, whether it's playing the wind or doing something along those lines. And so I pay attention to a feed and where, there's going to be good cover and where they're bedding. And so there's a lot of guys that go out there and they roam and maybe they'll find 1 or 2 antlers. But that's where you turn, an average shed hunter into the next level. I mean, there was a canyon, and people get this idea, I have to hike 15 miles back in this canyon and I'll find a bunch. Or I have to do this, and it's the same with hunting. Well, there's a ton of places where I've hunted deer and I'll see a giant buck not very far off the road in a hidden pocket. It's the same with sheds. Like there was a spot last year where me and my wife, we thought it looked good. We never had touched the spot for sheds. And we went in there and we picked up 30. And it was 300 yards off a road.
Holy shit, 30.
Damn.
30 elk horns, or antlers, sorry. But no, but that's the thing is it does require a lot of time thinking and e-scouting and using, the Explorer membership and applying the maps and things. There's a ton, at least in my opinion, that goes into it to help you be more successful. And so I think that's definitely where you see people finding a ton versus a dude that picks up 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah.
There's a huge separation there because
there's a lot of luck that goes into it. Just like with hunting, just like with anything, I like to look at it as I'm going to try to go make my own luck. I'm going to go push harder than that person. If he's there, I'm going to go there. And which is it's
Shit,
kind of
Branson's
weird.
competitive. I'm just finding out.
I'm pretty competitive.
He didn't even care.
He
He
saw
just-
me in that archery shoot. Are you kidding me? Come on.
So
me?
I'm extremely competitive too, though, but it's the amount of luck in this as opposed to anything else is where I'm
I
like,
think there is
you know?
a lot
You
of
make
luck.
your own luck.
There's a lot of luck, but to piggyback what he had to say is I spend a lot of time on my GoHunt maps, on my Explorer, because I've dropped pins on every horn I've ever picked up, and I'll get elevation profiles for that year. So this elevation profile, I crushed it that year. And I'll hunt the same place for years, and you can see trends. You can see that this year they followed the snow line up to here. They were in this mahog patch, and so I try to work a little bit smarter, by using those elevations, by using the different slopes where they're going to be, just be a little bit smarter. Maybe someone else doesn't think about doing that, and I might think of that. It's just luck, though. There's a lot of luck. Hunting is luck, whether that deer stands up, whether that deer's there.
For sure. Luck is all parts of life.
Yeah.
That's why, patience, persistence, hard work, outworking other people, it will create your own, because at some point you're going to get luck. It's the same in everything. It's just, man, you guys are not convincing me of that next level of why it's a thing.
That's the goal. The end of the podcast is to get Lorenzo out on a shed hunt.
Hell yes.
To make
That is not happening. I'm telling you guys.
He's going to jump in his truck and immediately cruise out.
You guys are in Australia. I'm here in Vegas. That's how far apart we are right now in the moment.
That's funny.
So you mentioned maps. How much time do you guys spend scouting?
Quite a bit, honestly.
When I'm hiking, I spend a lot of time looking at my phone, which might sound counterproductive, but it's not like I'm hiking like this. But I'm looking at certain ridges. I'm looking at certain elevations. I'm looking for certain vegetation. I'm looking at my phone. If I find a match, I'm trying to match it up, doing circles, doing crosses, following elevation bands, doing all that. I'm looking and using my maps, so a lot. And e-scouting before I even go is a lot, too. I use it a lot.
How much in the field scouting do you get in? Do you?
It depends on the year. But yeah, I definitely try to get out and glass. And obviously, a lot of people go out and push animals around and kind of glass up in the canyons and things. But if I can stick to the roads and kind of watch them from afar or kind of figure out their patterns that time of year, I'll definitely try and get out. But it's not as much as I used to, but I like to try to still get out and look.
It's fun to see, say, bulls that time of year, usually in the big open faces, and they're just hanging out. They're not feeling a pressure in the world, and you get to see some giant elk or some giant bucks for that matter. They're just chilling. And so I think it's sweet to get out and scout, because typically I wouldn't see those elk, I wouldn't see those deer, and I'm able to see them. So I spend quite a bit, watching if they're going to be on the snow line, if they're going to stick in that mahog, or if they're going to stay down low where you can't even glass any of that. There's quite a bit that goes
Mahog?
into
Is that something?
mahogany. Sorry, gosh.
Are we talking about mahogany?
Mahogany.
Or are you talking about your hog?
Is that
Mahog.
Jackin,
Yeah, Jack and Mahog.
Yes and yes.
Be Jack and Mahog.
Mahog.
Mahogany, just to clarify. That was after the 15 seconds, right? We're clear. We're like an hour and a half
For
deep.
sure. There we go.
Bransen could say Mahog.
That's funny.
Why do shed hunters wear camouflage?
I for myself,
That is a great question.
I'll speak into when I was first starting out. The only clothes, say I had to hit the bush, go push some bush, was camo.
There we go. 2 in a row.
If you want some, I'll keep going. But it was the only clothes I could afford to go and rip and tear. It was made to be out in the woods, be out in the hills. And so when I was starting out, that's why I wore it. I wasn't decked out head to toe in camo, but when you think about camouflage and these now companies, that's the highest performing gear that you own. It's made to wick sweat. It's made to take abuse. It's made to do X, Y, and Z while you're out in the hills. Do I understand the full concept of camo? No, but it is the best performing gear I have, for sure. It does what I want it to do when I'm busting it up a hill. That's where I come from.
You don't think blowing out your gear for when it actually matters is a thing?
You got to test it in order to know it works.
Why not just buy solids?
No, I wear solids. I'm just saying. So some people can't. Maybe they can't afford solids and camo.
Which I agree. I totally get. Right, you got to make it work, no matter what. You always have to make it work. But even if let's say I was on a super tight budget, I would be so concerned about blowing out my gear for when I actually needed it. This time of year, right? You're not sleeping in a teepee, trying to stay dry and
or are
warm
you?
and
I test the hell out of gear this time of year.
testing. I can get that. I can get
Because
that.
I mean, like in looking at it in that sense, I will get a new sleeping bag and go try it and go sleep. A new pad. I will get new boots from the Go Hunt Gear Shop. I will try new pants, new jackets, new backpacks, binos. My tripod for when it counts. This time it's practice. I'm practicing right now. You don't want to get a new pair of boots in September and go try it out.
Couldn't agree more.
I'm going to go put 15 miles a day on these boots, see if I get hot spots, see if they fit, see if they work, and I'll either wear those or get another pair too for hunting season. I test the heck out of things.
I
for
like
sure.
it. I'm buying in. I like the gear testing with shed hunting. It's a good idea.
I can fully understand that.
Yep.
That's why I like to scout. I mean, sometimes do I have to like force myself to go do it because I don't want to spend more time away from the family, more time away from the office, more time out of I'm a very like regimented person, but my motivating factor for scouting days is definitely like I need to make sure I'm
Get it
good.
works.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
for
I can't hit day one not knowing.
You mentioned some of the gear. What are some of your gear recommendations for shed hunting and why? What are like your key pieces?
I love gear.
Yeah, but what kind?
I
For
feel like
shed
I'm a
hunting
lot like you.
specifically?
I love gear. Like if we're talking specifics that you can get out of this Go Hunt Gear Shop, hit me up. I'll work a deal for you guys. Hit me up.
Bransen's like shopping for a promo code right here.
So like my tripod, I run a lightweight one. It's a Slick 634 with a Manfrotto head. Love it. I usually carry my 15s, my Swaros, putting that on top. I glass a lot for sheds. And like if there's another benefit right there, I'm training my eyes,
Yeah.
to be a better picking stuff out, recognizing things. And then of boots, I love Kenetrex. I love my Solos. I love my Ultras. I've fallen in love with those hiking for horns. Backpack, Stone Glacier, Metcalf. It depends on, like I've gone backpacking and camping for horns. And so like I need the teepee, I need the stove, I need the sleeping bag, Western mountaineering bag. I need all that stuff to try it out. And so those are kind of my go-tos, pretty simple. I love just to try new stuff this time of year, but those are kind of the stuff that I stick with.
So are you always trying new stuff when you're shed hunting? Like
Most of the time, yeah. I have, let's say, 6 different pairs of boots, and I will try one.
Get on
different
trails
pair.
level, bro.
In the rotation.
That's in the rotation.
That's in the rotation.
I've got a closet full of boots.
Are you on trails level?
No, definitely. No one's on trails level. But there is a whole bunch of gear that I am trying. I'll go through different pairs of binos every year, just trying, seeing what I like, seeing what works for me, whether it's too heavy, whether it's not. There's a lot to go into that. But yeah, I'm always testing new stuff. Always.
Trails like that super wealthy Hollywood wife who's her shoe closet. That's your boot closet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
I
it.
love it.
Yep.
Trail's tried everything.
Boots and heels. That's it. Just my closet.
He looks so good in heels.
Yep.
His calves.
Got
dude.
those red bottoms.
Guys, you definitely got some calves.
Jeez.
So optics are big.
Yep.
Huge, like game changer.
Game changer.
Yeah.
How much time do you guys spend glassing versus hiking? Some of the longest days I ever put in hiking. I've hiked way more miles shed hunting than I ever have for hunting because I'm just sitting and glassing a lot, right? Whereas shed hunting, I'm covering a lot more ground. I feel like. What do you guys? How much glassing time versus hiking? What's your methodology?
I think the big thing is the terrain you're in, especially what part of the state and where you're at. A lot of the time, like where I shed hunt mostly, there's a lot of opportunity to glass south faces. And so I would spend a couple hours throughout my day just glassing. And it's quite effective. I mean, there's been times where I've glassed up 3 or 4 antlers on just one face. And then, when you could have been working your balls off, hiking up and down the ridge, it's just a lot more ethical that way sometimes.
You glass up one antler, you don't immediately beeline for it?
No. And what I'll do even too is I'll work my way around up and down the ridge and get different angles to look at these faces. Because, like last week, me and my wife, we hiked up a ridge and she had been sitting there for like a half hour glassing. And so if your wives don't glass, you need to get her on that. But my wife's pretty awesome. But so she had been up there and she hadn't found nothing. And I went about 15 yards below her and sat down and threw up my binos, put it on the tripod, and boom, there was an elk horn laying there. And so it's effective. It is.
You saw it?
I did.
She wasn't happy.
Did you point and laugh?
She was a
what
little
you
upset. But she couldn't see it where she was sitting. And so it's effective.
Gotcha.
It really is.
Gotcha. Glassing then.
I spend a lot of time glassing too. Yeah. Any opportunity, literally, if I'm looking over and it looks good, I'll stop, pull out tripod, sit down, take a break, eat some snacks, glass. And I do it quite a bit. I feel like you can cover way
I like
more.
the snacks part. I'd be in for
Oh,
that.
I beat the hell out of some snacks.
What's your go-to snack?
I'm a big fan of Uncrustables. I've been beating
yeah.
those up lately.
Oh, bud.
I love those.
Yeah, he just ate a
Where-
peanut butter
that's where you
sandwich.
need- like I said, I'm big on snacks. If I don't eat every 2 hours, I'm a wreck. But these cram PB&Js, bro, you got to get off the
Amazing,
Uncrustables. Nothing bad in it.
Done.
Sweetened with monk fruit, all natural.
Whatever the hell that is. That sounds incredible.
only sprouted bread, no palm oil, no nothing, no seed oils, none of that.
We like no seed
Amazing.
oils. I was just talking to Trell about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't
I literally
agreeing with
just
him.
ate
He was
one.
just he was
That's-
talking to me. I wasn't responding. I was just like, yeah.
I
whatever.
literally just ate one. That's why it's funny you said that.
I was telling Bransen I had Cheez-Its for dinner last. Cheez-Its?
Cheez-Its and ice
Your,
cream, right?
your eating habits.
Cheez-Its and ice cream.
The way, if you ever looked at Trail and then guessed his eating habits,
He
it
eats
couldn't be
good, right?
further
Yeah.
from the truth.
Yeah, 100%.
Not a great eater.
The guy just looks like an absolute stud.
For
And then
dinner.
you hear what he ate for dinner, and you're like, wait, what?
Not a great
Yeah.
eater. You said something I wanted to ask you about.
What's up?
Boot tracks. So there's
Those are probably my boot tracks.
you talked about. Oh my God! He steals the words out of my mouth. Those were probably my boot tracks. That's amazing. So, what does that mean? And what do you do? You're out there. You're hiking around. Boot tracks.
Oh, he's got a good story about that. About this right here. About boot tracks.
No, legit. So I don't know. Sometimes it
What is that? That's a big,
Just
what
a
is it,
big-
cheater mule deer?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it definitely can play a factor in where you go and if you stay in a spot very long. But a lot of times people miss stuff super easy. I picked up this horn down in Arizona this year, and it was, 200 yards off the main highway. And there was boot tracks high and low, and it was just a little middle ground. So, I mean, sometimes it is discouraging, but people miss stuff all the time.
Yeah. It's way discouraging. I hate being around boot tracks. That's where it comes in. It's like, okay, I'm going to go where they didn't go, where I get a little bit more competitive. I'll go a little bit deeper, a little bit further. But also in the same breath, I've walked past horns that I've like come back on my same track, and there it is. I'm like, damn it. I walked right past that. People miss a lot of horns. And so as discouraging as it is, they're not going to find everything. There's a reason why you find white elk horns, white deer horns out there, because the people guarantee walk right past it. And so it can be discouraging, but there's still horns out there. Antlers.
So you don't let it discourage you. You just keep at it. Do you ever
Yeah.
change areas? Like you're seeing boot tracks.
If it's been pillaged, then absolutely I'll head on
Pill out.
Yeah, like if you see where someone went like this and did zigs and zags, they found something. They're trying to match it up. They probably found some more horns, and antlers. Gosh dang, I'm sorry, Lorenzo.
Or are they just wandering for no reason, which is what I would be doing.
I feel like most of the time people aren't going to wander zigzags. They're going to wander straight. At least me. When I'm out looking for these, like I just pick a point and I head. And then if I find an antler there on the way, then I start to zigzag or make tracks or do something of the sort. That's just me.
I'm kind of the opposite in that aspect. Like I'll find a big ridge or a face, and I'll start in the bottom, and I'll go all the way across, up 10 yards, back, up, all the way to the top. And so I love doing zigzags.
You like gridding it out. Mm-hmm.
why he
You
finds
don't
more
find
horns.
it super monotonous.
Not really, no. Like it works out well. You usually turn up more horns than you realize. I mean, I picked up, so when my wife found this 6-point, I just started zigzagging around trying to find the other side, and I picked up like 4 or 5 other elk antlers in the process.
That would grind. That's where it would fall off for me.
Oh man, that's why I said I would be walking in circles eating snacks. Like,
I would.
Yeah.
I would
No, I
want
do
to know.
that. I eat so many snacks. I love it.
I would want to know what's over the next ridge. Too
Yeah,
bad.
100%.
To grid out one area.
Yeah.
Just make lines back and forth and all day. That's where it would fall off. For
Let
me.
me ask you this. So this is not at all happening. So we're speaking hypothetical here. But let's say you guys were going to take me on a shed hunt. What would the day look like? What are we doing? Start from like waking up. Are we getting coffee? Are we going to breakfast? Like start at the very beginning. What's a day look like?
I think it just depends on how hard. If I was trying to make you
No.
looking
So
for
like
it,
I'm going with you guys. What would the day look like?
yeah, wake up, go to the gas station, get
What
loaded
time
up
is
on
it?
treats.
What time is it in the morning?
8. You don't need to get up way early, but I mean, there's been times when I'll glass for elk after they have dropped to get the general idea of where they're at. And whether or not I'm going to go in there or not, or go lower than them, I'm going to say, okay, on this date, there was elk right there. So I might be out early. I might be glassing early, looking for elk, looking for deer to get the general
So
location.
do we hit the gas station before that?
Yes.
Okay. So we got coffee.
Yes, absolutely.
Got food.
Coffees, donuts, usually the apple fritter from Todd's.
Perfect.
Shout out is
Dude,
the best.
so good.
Still the best.
So good.
Still the best donut out
I love that spot.
And yeah, I mean, hell, before that, the day before, you probably went to the store and grabbed snack or lunch stuff, or you had some dehydrated meals to crush.
So we got
at
a
lunch.
cooler.
You've got a cooler full of. You will eat fine.
Okay.
You will eat healthy.
All right, so-
there's Uncrustables. There's snacks.
Okay,
there's
so we're
food.
packed up with drinks and food.
Yep.
We wake up, hit the gas station, out there before the sun's up, glass, find some elk.
Yep.
Then what's it look like?
And then from there, it's either deciding, whether you want to hit the low stuff, if you want to go even further. I kind of like look at the truck and I look at the furthest spot I can go to and say, I want to get to that point, or I want to glass from this point, I want to glass this. And so it's just hiking. And so usually it's communicating with my buddies. If I'm out with my buddies, it's like, hey, let's hit this for 2 hours. And if we haven't found anything, let's go try a new spot. And so you go hit it hard for 2 hours and then come back to the truck and, hey, he found a big single. Let's go match it up with him. Go over there, go help him find that, or go try a completely new spot. And there's a lot of times where I hit, maybe 5 different spots that day and just trying to find, because there's just going to be pockets of antlers in there and you're just trying to find that. There's also been times where I will park the truck and I will hike for 11.2 miles and then hike right back to my truck.
Very specific.
Yes. I've hiked some long miles. I just know that one because I've done that one a lot. I have hiked this one spot and found a lot of deer antlers in this area, and so I just do that over and over again. That's what it looks like for me. It really just depends on if I'm going for elk or where I'm going for deer. Or with deer, I wander a lot more than I am specific for elk. Like with elk, I'm targeting mahog. And certain vegetation. For deer, yeah, I'm going to look for bitter brush. I'm going to look for those things, but I'm just wandering. And I'm just, trying to put on as many miles as I can, hoping to step on one. And that's kind of what it looks like for me.
I think since I've been married, my wife's made me a little softer. So the night before the opener, I grilled up steaks. So we ate really well.
I like this
Nice.
one way better already. Okay.
We spent a lot of money on groceries. So we have a little teardrop camper.
You've already won me over.
Yeah. So
okay.
I mean, it's got a 3-inch foam,
dude.
mattress topper in there. We cuddle up real nice.
I've been invited,
Bring
by
a
the way.
few extra sheds, and I'll plant them along the way for you, so you're having fun. I definitely decided like comfort is a huge thing because you can stay out longer and perform a lot better. And so we'll load up the teardrop camper. It has a little kitchen in the back, and we'll bring 2 or 3 coolers and a lot of food. And, like we grilled steaks the night before. Every night we're having protein bowls. So I'd ground up, cook some ground beef. We'd do a big thing of rice, a bunch of veggies, mix that all together. Like we were eating really, really good. So, I mean, it is what you make it.
You got to make it fun.
Right. And
Yeah.
so I was getting sick of living off granola bars and, cooking a pack of bacon in the pan in the morning and then hiking.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
That's what hunting season's for.
Right. So
You got to, and I think on that, you got to make it fun. Like, especially if you're going with other people, you don't want to just hike and be miserable and act like you're in the military and a strict regimen.
Kind of what it sounds like, though.
No, dude.
Not
you
even
are,
close.
You are having so much fun out there. Like, especially when you go with your buddies, you're just dicking around. Like, you're going out, you're telling jokes, you're eating tons of food, drinking lots of drinks,
Sodas.
and waters.
Pops.
looking at the mahog together.
Looking at my hogs.
Together.
And like, that's the thing is, like, the camaraderie built. I love, shed hunting sucks by yourself. It's not fun. I will beg my wife to come with me.
Really?
Just,
That's my favorite.
and that,
you Trail, you're a solo guy.
there are times you want to hike by yourself.
Yeah.
Like on the whole mental thing, if I'm mad at the world, I don't want to deal with anybody. I'll just go hike, and clear my mind. But there's times that you go out with your buddies, just like with hunting, you have some damn good times. You're giggling, looking at my hog. You're drinking some good drinks. Like, you're having a lot of fun.
And you're all on the radio, right?
Yeah, on the radios.
I've been on those before with a couple buddies.
Yes.
And you got a buddy, hey, just picked up a big six.
Yep.
Then the other buddy, oh, I just picked up a big six. And you're up there just like pissed off. You're not
Hating
finding anything.
life.
Yeah, that'd be me.
And then they start pinging back and forth. Oh, I'm up to 5. I'm like, this sucks. I hate it, both of you.
Little morale boost.
Good luck
playing some
hiking home, the
music.
pair of you.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. But yeah, I've had that happen.
Yeah.
It is kind of fun when the radio starts popping, people start picking up sheds.
Are you guys out all day? Are you guys hitting the truck at noon? Or are you guys just out all day?
It depends on the amount of time I have. If it's for a day, I want to hit it pretty hard. If I just have a few hours, it really just depends.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, usually going pretty hard just because I have very limited time to go do these things, and so I want to go put forth a really good effort for sure.
I think it depends. Like, there's definitely days where we'll be out from light till dark. But like this last week, we went out, we came back, we made up a good, nice lunch and got our protein in and hung out for a little bit, you know, took a nap and then went back out. And it was a lot more fun that way rather than just grinding your way all day and not finding anything. And like what he's saying, where he hops different areas and canyons, like, okay, we'll shed hunt this till noon and then we'll come back, get a good meal in and then hit another area. So works out pretty well.
Yeah.
What's the pressure actually like on public land for sheds? And have you
Ridiculous.
ever had an altercation?
I haven't. No, I'm a really friendly guy. Like, some people might not peg me as friendly, but I'm really friendly. I can make friends pretty easy, talk to anybody. And you'll run into people, and they might have your other side.
Oh,
And
got
it
it.
sucks.
What do you do there?
Barter really hard.
Is that what you do?
Yeah,
I got
snacks.
this granola bar.
Yeah, I got freaking Uncrustables. I got a Mountain Dew. Like, what do you want? And like, there's been Venmo transactions out in the hills with myself. Like, someone's got a side of a big deer horn. I'm like, dude, I'll give you $100 right now for it. Done. Or trade, like, you know, maybe you got 2 brown horns and they've got yours. Trade them 2 big ones or 2 brown ones, and get that side. So there's been really good altercations. You know, I've heard of some on the opener here in Utah. I heard of watch a guy walk up to a tree and pull a horn out and went and ripped his ass because he poached that shed earlier. And, you know, I've heard of things like that, but most of the time it's just that you run into somebody doing the same thing as you. You're pissed off out there in your spot, but there's nothing you can do. It's all public land and you're both out there grinding. So.
You're what, 30, pushing up on 30?
30.
So
30.
And sounds like you've been doing this pretty much since you were a kid,
Yeah.
teenager.
20 years.
What's
probably.
the hunting? What's the pressure like? Has it changed in your lifetime, or has it always been
Yeah.
pretty
It's
pretty much the same?
It's gotten a lot worse. And you knock social media all you want. I will knock it. It has turned it into a rat race out there. We used to be able to go up to my house right above Kanab and go for a hike for 10 miles and find 20 plus antlers. Just crush it. And like big horns too, and like have a lot of fun. You wouldn't see another boot track up there doing the same activity you're doing. And you go anywhere around. And even, you know, like I can't say so much for elk because we are so focused on deer, but you probably saw it for yourself how much it's gotten so popular. Whether it be antler prices or whether it be trying to be cool on social media, it has gotten disgustingly popular. And it's hard to find many places without boot tracks nowadays.
I don't think there's that many people that are actually hunting sheds for monetary gains, because I think most people are probably spending more gas
100%.
than they are
Yeah,
in
makes sense.
gain. I think a lot of it's the dopamine hit, but picking up a big antler, it's the unknown, and I think it's social media. If I'm honest,
Yep.
that's what I think it is. That's my opinion.
Couldn't agree more. And it's hard for me to not rank social media higher.
Yeah,
than the
could
other
be.
ones.
And I'm not saying that. And this is just me throwing it out there. I'm not saying that that's like, bad. I'm just saying that's your value. That's fine. Good for you. Rock on. Just maybe, other people's are different, and that's okay too. I'm just definitely saying it's a motivation.
For sure. And look, it's not for me, but who the fuck am I to say?
Yeah.
Because obviously they have traction with it, right?
Yeah.
Like they're gaining,
Making a
they're-
living.
Yeah, they're gaining some attention with what they're doing. Like, oh shit, I'm all for it. Just not for me.
So you do think the pressure's higher then?
Way higher.
You?
Absolutely. That's why I work so hard to find places where people don't go. So like last few years, I haven't really seen people. But that took years and years of trying to figure out different units, traveling around Utah to find a place where I don't run into people as much.
You're one of those guys that travels to outside of your area.
Oh yeah.
to find
To
sheds.
find the bone zone.
You're
Absolutely.
the guy.
He
Yep.
lives in the bone zone. It sounds
I
like.
have a pocket that I have had forever, and it's near where I grew up. And I used to be able to hit that, whether it was end of March, May, June, didn't matter. When I hit that pocket, I'd find sheds because it was like my little pocket, right? Last year, 2 years ago, I picked up 5 sheds. So I only have like 3. I only have like 3 days ever now that I actually get out and go shed hunting. But I picked up like 5, and just as I was picking this one up out of a sagebrush, I look over and there's a guy standing there watching me.
Son of a bitch.
And I've got 4 or 5 on my pack, and I've got one in my hand, and he's like, "Oh, looks like there are some elk around here." And I was like, "Yeah, man, found a few." And he's like, "Cool." Talked to him a little bit. He was from Vernal, and this is not near Vernal.
Not near Vernal.
Which I'm like,
I need to know the zip code.
you drove by how many units to get to
get
this
here?
unit?
Yeah.
The next year I went back, I hit my same pocket. I picked up 3. I got back to my truck, 9 guys.
Oh my gosh.
They had 23 between them.
Wow.
And they had spread out across this hillside and just flat gridded it out and cleaned up. I didn't even bother going back. I'm not going back. Like, I won't go back this year just because I'm like, I guarantee it. And I probably should, but I'm just like, yeah, is it worth the gas money, But like, that's an example to me. Like, it went from like being my pocket,
Yeah.
to now within, a couple years, few years, somebody's found that and they're just like gridding the hell out of it.
Yeah, and that's so the hunt to shed hunt difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're not having 9 guys with a tag.
Hunting is capped. There's only so many people with a tag, right? But
Yeah.
shed hunting, I mean, you could show up with your whole crew, whole family.
What do you guys think?
whole
Shed
everything.
hunting permit? What do you think? Future? How do you feel about that? That idea? A lottery to shed hunt.
I've never toyed with that. I've never thought about it. But I think it's kind of like, can we regulate it ourselves type of thing? Like, can we respect the animals? Can we respect the land enough to not? And I just think there's so many people in the hunting landscape, in the shed hunting landscape, in any of that it's just becoming too popular that something has to be done. As much as I hate to say it, there's a reason why there are seasons now, which sucks. But if it makes sense, it you have to.
This shouldn't have to be though. Anytime you add more oversight from
Sucks.
a state body or governance or whatever it is, that should not be the case. If everyone could just wait till May 1st, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not just try to limit the shitheads to the best of our abilities. We've done a decent job with it in hunting, right? Like, you think about how many game wardens are out there for how many hunters. Like, we police ourselves. There's
I
no
agree.
question about it.
We've done a great job.
And hunters we've all
And-
collectively
and progressively gotten way better. There's a lot.
way better.
I personally, I think there's a lot less poaching than there was when I was a kid.
I entirely agree,
think so.
and I think people's moral compasses, because of social pressures and because of it is really genuinely changed. Like, it's even gotten to the point now where if you kill a 190-inch buck off the Ponsagon, whatever. But if you kill a 190-inch buck off of Pine Valley, it's a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the limited compared to general, right? It's gotten to like, the big animal doesn't matter as if it wasn't done the way society expects it to be done. So like with the shed hunting stuff, it shouldn't have to get to that point. You know what I mean? It should not have to be a permit. I'm not a shed hunter, but man, if it went to a permit, I would be devastated. Like, that just doesn't sound. It doesn't need to get to that.
Yeah, for the record, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
I'm not
but it is
suggesting.
being talked
I'm
about.
not suggesting that it should happen or that I want it to happen. I don't think. I don't want it to be.
Right.
It's just typically that this is how the ball rolls. Like,
Correct.
a thing builds, it gets more popular. It gets to a point where potentially maybe there's an impact, and at that point you have a state entity looking at regulating it, which we had a season this year. Next year, is there a season and a permit that you have to buy? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to see it go to that. It just makes me wonder.
And if shed hunters can collectively get together and kind of self-police and do it right and try to weed out as many shitheads as possible, like, it should not have to get to that point. It is an entirely recreational thing. You are not taking a life. You're not, it's like, doesn't necessarily need to be managed to that level. Just needs to be the common understanding of like, hey, this is when it starts. If you're a shithead, get out of here. I'm turning you in, you know?
Yeah. It just makes me wonder though, and that's why I asked the question about pressure. Is I was just curious on whether, because I think a lot of it's perception. I think there's the perception that, hey, there's more than ever because now it's in your face.
My
Every time you
spot,
open up
yeah.
your Instagram, you have some dude with a giant set of sheds, and it just like that public perception that maybe it's more. But I just wanted to know, you know, and you guys answered. It does sound like there's actually more people on the landscape. Yeah. Why do people smell sheds?
Oh, dude,
The only
that's so
I've always
strange.
wondered that.
you know,
actually.
this is a thing.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I did not know you had these questions.
Oh,
And I
you
love
did?
these questions.
These are incredible.
Why? What is that?
My buddy smells them.
Oh, I know. I've sat there and watched people just an
Pick
elk
it
shed
up,
antler, and they've got
fresh
the
and
burr.
brown.
It's right there by their nose, and they're just circling that. I mean,
That's a great question.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I mean, if I were to look at it, do you like the smell of wet sagebrush? Anybody?
yeah, I do.
I do.
I think it's like that. If you associate a smell with a good feeling or a good thought, you smell it.
I was going to say something and I restrained myself. I'm very proud of myself. Can we keep going?
I know exactly where that went.
But keep going. I'm very proud of myself right now.
And I think of that because my buddy, he will pick up a brown one and just, he's like, oh, it smells just like an elk. I love that smell.
Oh, I've seen dudes sit there on their couch and just continually sniff.
I haven't seen it to that. It's like a quick, like,
You
yeah, it
have.
smells like,
You've
no,
been that
it
guy.
hasn't been
I
me.
guarantee you.
You can't bring me into this.
I guarantee you're that guy, and you're that guy. I know it. I don't know a shed hunter that's not sitting around sniffing their
There's no
sheds.
way I have ever
I've
sat
never
there and
sniffed one.
sniffed a
Liars.
horn.
I don't believe you
That's
guys.
the strangest
Never
I
crossed my
don't
mind.
believe it.
Looking at my hog and grabbing my horn. No, dude. That's so weird.
I don't believe either
That
of
is
you.
the strangest. You can ask my fiance.
I'm
if she ever
asking-
walked in as smelling a horn, no, this is weird. You have. You sick
Oh, I
SOB.
have for sure. Yeah, because I'm honest. Of course,
Exactly.
Of
Somebody at
course
least
I've
is
sit
being
there
honest
and
here.
smelled sheds.
It's
I don't know
not
why.
something that I get my rocks off
I
to,
just-
though.
I just think it's the funniest thing ever because it's typically one of the first things you see people do. They'll pick up a shed, they'll look at it, check it all out, sniffing the bird,
I'm gonna now. I've never been. I'm gonna now.
which is so funny to me.
I'm gonna go home
Yeah,
and
that's
smell
a-
my horns.
That's a whole thing.
Interesting. I like these pressing questions.
Yeah. Do you guys know? Yeah. How long we've been going? We've been going a while, huh? Hour and 40.
Hour and
Gotcha.
40.
Yeah, we can.
I want to keep getting into these good questions. the minds of shed hunters.
So I wanted to ask you guys: do you the market for shed hunting, shed antlers? Right. I know you guys sell some, right? Do you know why? What's the market? What pushes it? What are people selling?
I've always
it?
heard dog chews. That's all I've ever heard.
Dog chews are huge.
That's a really big one. I do think like decor for people's cabins and things is huge, chandeliers, and then also I've heard a lot of it for medicine. Like the guy that
From
I
a
sell
hog.
a lot of my antlers to, right? Yeah, some hog, maybe grow them a hog a little more. He sells them to China, and then they ground them up and make medicine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, heard that too. Dog chews are coming up all over Petco, Sportsman's, all these pet places. My dog loves them. We talked about it earlier. My dog just will sit there and gnaw on it all day long, and they hold up really well. Like my sister, she has like a little toy Shih Tzu, and she gets pumped about horns. Antlers. Anytime I
Do you cut them up?
No, we just give her the whole 2-point horn or something
Yeah.
small. That they
Have
can
you ever
kinda-
cut them up and tried to sell them as dog
I
chews?
haven't. I saw that.
Does it break your heart when you see people do?
It kind of makes me sick a little bit, but it's
I
like,
knew that it
what
did.
else is it gonna? What else are you gonna do with it? You know, like
I knew that it did.
does.
I knew that when Bransen saw a
Someone
bandsaw
cut it up.
go
I'm
through
like,
an elk
man, I
shed,
could be
it-
fondling that horn.
I could be sniffing that
I
horn.
could be sniffing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a story about that, which is why I don't and will not ever give my dog horns or antlers. So when I was in college, I bought my first dog, a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, trained her myself for duck hunting. It was like my whole thing. I was moving some animals that I had killed, and the very first velvet buck I'd ever killed, I was taken up to college with me, and I left it on the ground, and when she was a puppy, she chewed it up. And it's like chewed up the front left fork. I thankfully could get it a little bit repaired. It definitely looks a little wonky, and it just like ruined me. So now with my dog, I have an Australian Shepherd now. Like I will not give him horn because I have, you know, like my wife killed her bull. It's in our garage until the taxidermist needs it. I just don't want there to ever be a confusion of like, see this, you
one's
don't
okay
get
and that
this.
one's not.
Yeah, you don't get this. Like this thing, don't ever chew on it. Like that. So I have a weird spot with people that giving dogs antlers. Just like, man, you're kind of inviting a little habit.
Yeah, my dog
there.
doesn't chew antlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got them all over the place, but I won't.
And there's a couple dogs in the office here that chew on the sheds. And I keep my door closed all the time because I always have. I've always got some skull plate in there that's ready to go to the taxidermist. And the last thing I need is one of those dogs going in there and chewing one.
Yeah.
I trained mine to go pick up antlers.
Yeah, I know that's
Really?
a thing. Yeah, they make antler dogs. Yeah, shed hunting
Really?
dogs now. Yeah, they train them. How effective do you think they are? Like, do you think that it's actually a thing?
That's what I was. Is this a thing? Like
Yeah,
it works?
it's
It's
actually a
better.
thing.
I mean,
yeah.
talking to people, they've done really well. It's not. I don't like seek my dog out. I'm like, go find horns.
Is it a retriever mainly?
Yeah,
What is it? What are they using?
Mine's a retriever and a Catahoula. Really smart dog, and it was really simple. Like I would be like, here's a horn, chew on it, and then I'd go hide it. Like, go find the horn, and he'd go find it, sniff it out. And it got to the point where like I spotted a horn from like 100 yards away, big white one underneath a tree, and says, go find the horn, and it's just like a dog would zig and zag, work it, boom, found it, brought it right back to me. And it's like there's people that will cast their dog in a proper term is they will go find the horn, the dog will wander off, come back with the horn. And it's like, damn, that's cool, you know. Like, and I've seen that. I've seen people do videos.
I did
and
not
stuff.
know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they can cover a hell of a lot more country than you can.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how
Really?
effective it was.
Yeah,
I mean-
it is genuinely effective. Like it's
Yeah.
working for people
Legit.
that have it.
Yeah, that's what
It's
they
better
said.
than you not having one.
Yeah, I've talked to people that like they genuinely find more horns because their dog brings them to them.
And they have a whole call thing, everything. Like my Chesapeake was dead bird. Like if I ever said dead bird, she was locked in looking for whatever was out
Yeah.
there. Like
Yep.
if we had dropped a bunch of them out of a group that came in and we only picked up half, I'd just cash her out and say dead bird and she'd go
Yep.
find them.
They're
It's the same thing, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. One quick story: Jeff Baird, we all know him, love him. He has a.
Guy's a
No,
stud.
I love him.
Have you met his dog? Mm-hmm. The smartest damn dog this side of the Mississippi. I was up there at Fish Lake with him this year, and he had a stick. We were playing fetch, pitch dark, middle of the night. He would throw the stick in the forest. Damn dog would come back with a stick every time, and for it to have that scent recognition was incredible. And it's just the same thing that has a scent on it. It has the same mineral. You get them used to that. Get them trained fetching that. Go find that horn. It's not going to come back without it.
I could get into the dog. I love
Cool.
That's
Yeah,
my favorite
dog-
part about
dog looks
waterfowl
awesome.
hunting. That's what got me into waterfowl hunting was the dog.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
that
I
interaction.
absolutely was like overly addicted from waterfowl hunting from the dog work. That's what I loved about it.
Dogs are awesome.
Here's some information for you on selling antlers and where they end up. So this one, I kind of found this back. This goes back to the Jackson Elk Refuge that, established. They pick up all the elk horns,
Yeah.
elk sheds. So it said in 1968, town officials planned an auction to sell 5,000 pounds of antlers, hoping to attract, to make local, gun racks or furniture or whatever it was. And it said on that day, nearly all the antlers were bought by two men, both who represent firms from Hong Kong. So I think from like 60s, 70s, 80s up through like early 2000s, most of those were bought and sold and sent overseas to China. It says in traditional Chinese medicine, antlers often sliced into rounds and served with ginseng or crushed into powder. Hard antlers reported to have anti-inflammatory qualities. So it was kind of used as boner pills. I've heard that a bunch back in the days.
I know.
Before Viagra.
I know velvet.
Velvet, yeah, but this is actual hard
This
antler.
is hard?
Hard
Oh, really?
ground antler. Yep. And then this is kind of interesting. It said in 2004, a man named Michael Thomas helped change the antler industry for good. Thomas was reportedly at a friend's house watching a Dallas Cowboys game and saw a buddy, his dog was chewing a whitetail shed, and he thought, maybe I can make a business of this. And started buying antlers to cut into pieces for dog chews. And it says that the large bulk of antlers that are bought and sold in the U.S. this year or every year from like early 2000s, 2004 on are dog chews.
That's crazy. I
Really?
can't believe the market's that
Market's
big.
that big.
So it is driven by dog chews.
Dog chews right now. Yeah, dog chews.
Man, those the Chinese culture, man. They'll eat anything.
That was going to be one of my
Like,
yeah.
There's into snake blood and shark fins and
Oh, yeah,
rhino horns, all kinds of shit.
There was a good one here. You asked about velvet.
Yeah.
I found a source that said, oh, I got to find it real quick. It was a great one. It said that, some spas in Russia, which is home to Eurasian elk and reindeer, offer a treatment which customers bathe in water mixed with velvet and blood from harvested deer antler velvet.
That's normal.
The purpose being, or the outcome potentially being.
I mean, just more manly. You know what I mean?
Just more blood flow.
But I mean, there you go. There's a good one for you. You asked about velvet.
That is interesting.
So yeah, a couple antler facts on where these actually all end up. Mostly dog chews.
So that's the driving. That is the driving market.
Driving market at this point. Rolling, you guys know that's
Rolling,
rolling. Some Limp Bizkit.
Bro.
Not if you're on Shed Antler.
High school classic.
Have you ever ground up a shed and taken
I
it
haven't.
for a
I'm
pill?
about to, though. It sounds fantastic.
Do you think you might try it?
Yeah, take a...
Will you try it and report back?
No, absolutely not.
Honeymoon.
I mean, it's full of
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
calcium. I mean, that's got to be a benefit, right?
It's got to be.
I mean, you can just get powdered calcium.
Exactly. It's trace minerals in these, but it is.
Got to be. Let's run real quick and we'll wrap up. We're about done. We've been going a long time, but I wanted to just run through. Are you guys aware of like what shed hunting laws are across some Western states right now? Like I know Utah, May 1st. That sounds like it's going to be on a rolling year by year basis. They're going to look at the winter and kind of decide, put it out. Utah, you do have to take a shed hunter ethics course, right? Online, totally free. You sign it, you print it, you take it with you.
That's if it's a regular season.
A regular season.
Yep. After this is May 1st, you don't have
May
to.
1st, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Colorado, do you guys know?
May 1st.
May 1st?
Yep.
Okay. And that's all public lands I read west of Interstate 25.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly the western slope, right? I did read that the shed closure runs into May 15th in the Gunnison Basin. And I think that's been new, maybe this year, just based on weather. So be aware of that. What about Wyoming?
Non-residents have to purchase a conservation stamp for $21.50.
Okay.
Interesting.
Residents and kids under 15 years of age are exempt.
Okay. And I also read, did it pass where they were going to open shed season sooner for residents?
Yeah. Next year it goes into effect.
Next year. So a week earlier?
Yep.
So non-residents don't come to Wyoming and hunt sheds?
Yeah. Nope. You won't find anything.
Can you imagine if hunting did that?
Yeah.
I'd be.
Don't
I
put
would
that
be
evil out into the world, Ricky.
beyond frustrated.
Yeah.
How did Wyoming pull that off? I
Yeah.
would be beyond frustrated.
There was a lot of people pretty frustrated. That one's May 1st, May 15th also. In
Yeah,
some
May
areas.
1st, May 15th. Nevada?
May 1st. Actually,
There's a whole bunch of counties that are
yeah.
kind of closed until May 1st. So that makes it a little bit difficult. And then all shed hunters have a collection certificate is required, and that's from May 1st to June 30th. So it's basically an antler gathering course or certificate
Kinda like Utah.
Is
that
it
you have
free?
to
Do you have
purchase.
to pay for? Oh, you purchase it?
I believe it's free.
Okay. Similar to Utah then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. Arizona.
Utah seems to piggyback a lot, or sorry, Nevada seems to piggyback a lot on Utah. So I would imagine. It
Yeah,
would
I
follow
think
the
Utah
same.
probably piggybacked on Nevada on that one. I think Nevada's been first, right? Nevada's hasn't Nevada
I
had a
think Wyoming
season?
was
It's
first.
been a minute for Nevada,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
This is how out of it I am. My own state, shed hunting, no clue.
It's your world.
Yeah. Arizona, anything?
Nothing.
New Mexico,
Nothing.
good to go. Those southern states, they figure
Warm enough.
warm enough, habitat's good enough. Idaho?
No, surprisingly. I don't think they did one this year.
Yeah.
And-
I know they're talking about it.
There are, yeah.
There were a lot of people complaining that they didn't do one this year.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a lot of winter kill up there. They weren't too happy about that.
And Montana,
I didn't
nothing?
see anything.
I haven't heard anything either. So that's kind of a case by case. Well, cool. I appreciate you guys coming on. Do you have any other burning questions?
Not entirely. Just
Do you get it now?
no.
You still don't
I
get
still
it.
don't get it.
You're not
And I'll
go-
tell you, like my high level thought right now is, you've talked about it. I've talked about it. You guys talk about you don't have much time away from work, all this stuff. It's all like it all comes down to time, right? Like we only have so much time. I mean, you're running a whole basketball team in your house. I'm getting started on a small basketball team now. it's like the last thing I have is time, right? When I come out of hunting season, I'm just like, okay, I need to like tie up before my life falls apart again next August, you know? That's like to think about the time again away, you know, disconnected. And I don't know, it's just that time constraint.
I have taken my kids on some shed hunts that were very memorable for them. Like I think it's a good opportunity to get your kids out. You know, I remember I took my two oldest. It's been probably 3 years ago, and we picked up 2 sets of one evening, and we did an overnight camp. The next day, we hiked around for maybe half a day, and then we bailed off and went home. We drove around at night and shot some jackrabbits. So just made a trip of it. You know,
fun.
so it was it was fun.
And that's when my son's way too young for that, but like. Whatever he wants to do, I will be in for. So you two can't talk me into it. But if my son
We'll
wanted
talk
to go,
turtle.
hell yeah.
Get turtle up here.
100%.
We need to take turtle shed hunting, and he'll be all in.
Oh yeah.
Before I go, I did have one more. I wanted each of you to tell me like most memorable pickup.
I'll take this one right here. I watched this one drop. It was pretty awesome. Videoed it even.
Is that like the holy grail of shed hunting?
Yes. Yes. Actually, the holy grail that I've been looking for is there's a bunch of rams that died on a unit, and I've been looking for one of their dead heads.
Which you can't pick up, by the way.
but you can call a conservation officer. They'll plug it and they'll give it to you.
Maybe.
Yeah. It probably died because I went. But yeah, no. This was my favorite. I was sitting there glassing some bulls. They walked up over a hill. I videoed it. He dumped it, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!" It's just cool to see something like that. And so I think that's probably my top one for sure.
Dump both sides equally?
Just one side. He just had one side. And so that's why I was rolling film, because I was like, man, he could dump it at any time. And just kind of.
Did you ever find the other side?
Nope, never did.
Of course.
Never did.
Really?
Yep.
Man, that sucks.
Yep.
That gets into a whole other discussion, but we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I would say for me, this 6-point right here, this is my wife's biggest antler to date. And just to see the reaction on her face when she found it and to be there with her was pretty awesome. I definitely think that's why we do it right there. So
Did you see it first?
No. She goes off on her own and disappears, and sometimes I lose her, but she always comes back with sheds. So kind of like the dogs, you know.
She sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
She's not trailing you right behind you.
Not even close.
In training. We're in training over here.
Well, good deal. Well, we appreciate you guys coming. I know
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for sticking up for shed hunters.
Yeah, absolutely. Pumped. I'm
You still
pumped to
think it's
finally be on
a
here.
worthwhile thing to do?
Oh, absolutely.
You think you'll do it forever?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Very cool.
Would
Thanks.
you identify yourself as a shed hunter?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I'm sure a lot of guys in the comments will too.
Stick up for us, guys.
Oh, they will.
Good.
Yeah, they will.
I will
already
say
have.
they're a passionate bunch.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, they feel very passionately about their pursuit, which is great. Good on them, man. I get it. Don't get me wrong.
Whatever
I totally
trips
get
your
it.
trigger. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to give them some shit, but I totally get it. I get
Entirely.
it. And we're winning Lorenzo over, so
Hey,
One day,
no.
Turtle, we're getting him out there.
No.
yeah,
It's not
that's
for me.
what it would take.
If it's for you, all good.
We get
Not for
Turtle
me.
out. He picks up a shed
Pumped.
right here.
I'm gonna say, put that shit down. We're gonna go. We'll go kill him in the fall.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, guys.